Okay, it is
Very silly.
Time comes for us all.
I was gonna
We're
own
only,
it.
30 minutes late.
Well, listen, 15 minutes late on the gathering, but, then I had to pee, and it's fine. It's all good.
Multiple dinners happened,
Yeah,
I'm almost done.
that's pretty good. Pretty good, good to do. I accidentally...
I got real cheap dinner.
No, you didn't. All right. I do need to pop my chat out.
We
All right.
might be joined by Mountain in the chat.
Well, Mountain is from Sweden, so I don't know, but I think Art of Turtle subscribed on the Ascension da Sazarin YouTube, so that's cool. All right, so we are just about ready to start session 13. Session 12 was a climactic one, full of chickens, and also of quite horrifying revelations towards the end, where the secret was out and Narath was exposed as being in service to some dark lord of sorts, while the exact specifications of that dark lord are not immediately obvious. It clearly demanded ultimate prices. Not just the potential capture of Ro, but also the dragon egg is now targeted by this lich. However, the master of Narath seems to have been having a difficult time convincing his puppet of following such orders, as for the first time that Narath can remember, he is not bade to follow the dictums of his Dark Lord. So, what does that mean? Well, the answer to that question will have to come later, as, of course, staring down the party right now, after smashing through the door and the crate and the barricade into this dwarven cellar that you have found yourselves in, is none other than some sea green armor-clad warrior of a formidable stature, certainly more imposing than your average elf. So while we load in and get everybody acclimatized, that's pretty much where we find ourselves. So, does anybody have any other questions or things they would like to add to the recap?
Chickens.
Chickens.
Yeah, I love chickens.
There were a lot of chickens.
I remember Silas
Ro got
doing some
annihilated by a
spying.
chicken.
I remember Silas doing some spying with a hawk on.
Oh yeah, that did happen.
Baroness or whatever.
Yep. He used the preternatural senses of the hawk, his familiar, to attempt to pick up on some interesting back and forths between Ketarinho, the dwarven barkeep, and some strange follower, some strange guest, rather, that arrived to do business, though that business seemed to have concluded in a sour note. And that was hours before the current situation that you find yourselves in.
Oh, and Blink got told that the woman performer was never gonna die and was Mother Hen or whatever.
Yeah, Mother Hen, immortal of some kind. That being said,
all right, let's kill this elf.
The other thing that was probably worth pointing out is that Silas also tried to message the egg, and instead of the egg, like the dragon soul responding, or even like the other creature that like Ro felt, it was James, the cleric that had previously joined Silas internally. So interesting dynamics already happening here. Seems that man was not just eviscerated by cosmic forces or anything. So, all right, that's where we find ourselves. So, the man before you, if he is a man, seems like a man. He's pretty big, pretty burly. Has just smashed through the door and has left in its wake a whole host of wood and rubble and dust. There's footsteps clattering all about upstairs, as if sounds of some kind of scuffle or skirmish even, perhaps, are happening. You can hear muffled shouts above, and the previously unconscious bodies of the Harlot Slayer and Ludman are stirring. What does the party do? Is the party immediately drawing steel? What are we thinking?
I imagine that Ro probably pulls out his great axe and probably says, "Everyone be ready. It seems that this armored figure intends to do battle."
Does it look like an elf?
You cannot make out any details behind the heavy visor of the well-armored warrior. His twin glaive is certainly drawn at attention and at the ready. Currently, the warrior stands his ground. But this is just enough time for me to get everybody responding. It's not like it's a long pause after the door. The door just got smashed open, right? So I want to know what everybody is doing independently. So Ro is just shouting his, at the ready line. I think the last we heard was Blink fell back behind Ashtorium. Ashtorium sort of moving in front of his master to protect him. I don't remember what form Blink is in right now.
So he would have been in his changeling form. I was wondering if he would have had time to shapeshift as he walks back.
Yeah, that's just an action, so.
Listen to that.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, I hate this.
That's pretty good.
He's going to shapeshift into Javai.
Oh, okay. All right.
I swear that sound is more disgusting than it was before.
I didn't modify it. But I have that.
Worse with each session.
That's a fun idea. I should change it after every session. Make it worse.
Sound changer.
No, nothing changed.
Yeah, what are you talking about? All right. What is Narath doing? Narath was just attempting to tell Darix not to immediately kill him when the door smashed open. So maybe you two were locked in some kind of interlocution, some discussion.
Can Darix go before me?
Okay, Darix, what are you doing?
I can't see what it is from where I'm standing.
If you did, it would just be a tiny little sliver of it, probably.
Yeah, I mean, technically from where I'm standing, like, my character can see, like, probably his shoulder or something, and then I hear Ro say something wants to do battle.
Yep.
So,
and this is right after Narath, rather, did his, attempted to tell Darix, like, I don't know. I no longer have to heed the commands of that evil one. I'm free. And then the door smashed open or whatever. So
Yeah.
No. Narath said to arms. He specifically invoked that. He had said, "I'm free now. I can explain everything. Finally, just help me kill this."
Darks doesn't trust him at all, for obvious reasons.
Don't trust him, but he'll persuade you.
Yeah, we don't have time.
Retroactive persuasion check.
Yeah, to do a persuasion check. So yeah.
Too bad too. He would have done pretty well.
Yep, you would have, but we don't have time for that. So you just wasted your good persuasion roll. You scrub.
No. Narath, with that persuasion check, is looking into your eyes.
Yeah, Derek's is not looking at you. He's looking at the armored guy that's right at the end. You idiot. By the way, he's going to pull out his Morning Star and step forward.
All right.
It makes sense.
I'll go ahead and unpause so you can do that. Yep.
I imagine he's looking at Ro, and then the green thing that he can barely see in the doorway, and being like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So while that's happening, Silas, what are you doing in the afternoon?
By the way, I'm gonna glance back at the clock tile thing. What's it? It's
doing? At full 6, like all the way south, maximum danger.
Okay, well that tells me everything I need to know.
Well, I mean, the Lich was just talking through a chicken, so.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's pretty dangerous.
I would consider that, yeah.
That's pretty spooky.
Yeah, but the Lich is supposedly not here anymore, and he's not under control of anything. So why is it so dangerous?
He's not under control, but that doesn't mean the Lich isn't here.
Yeah.
All right, Silas.
I mean, he did possess a chicken.
What's your game plan?
We have to kill every chicken on site.
So Silas is going to get up, quickly take out his shield and his spear, and if time allows, he's going to shuffle down here, grab the curtain, and then immediately close it so that the egg is not immediately visible.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, got it. In that case, while I am going ahead and closing that should do the trick. All right. So Silas just shuffles over. We'll say that you hear faint groaning from Ludman and the Harlot Slayer as they attempt to kind of come to from where they were just having an alcohol and fisticuffs induced nap, respectively. So
While
you
this
guys
is going on,
Yeah.
Narath will step towards the back, and he will prepare an action to cast True Strike should any party member move to attack the elf.
Okay. Can you remind me, is True Strike it's a target on the you target the enemy that then is given advantage? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we homebrewed it to where the other guys can get the advantage off too.
Instead of it just being you, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Alrighty. So, with all of that, everybody's actions accounted for, I guess, except for I was just about to say about Narath, but it sounds like that is your action. So that is just fine there. All right. So with that, we have just have to do one thing here. Sorry about that. The move here now is that the warrior, clad in brilliant sea green armor and all of that, is going to step forward into the doorway, not immediately looking towards Ashtorium despite the proximity. And you will hear a very like a heavy voice bellow through his helmet. I am here under orders to bring this group of vandals to justice. I see you will not concede.
Derek's gonna ask who he serves.
With no immediate regalia upon the warrior, there's not an easy answer to surmise just by looking at him, Darix. Though you can't help but remember the color scheme of this armor being very evocative of similar tones found in the Elven district, where you had your run-in with the Owara Manor. I would say the resemblance is strong enough to bring memories back of such a place.
Okay, well, time to die.
Do you wait for an answer, or do you just start going?
No, yeah, no. Egg's in danger, so he dies. That's it.
Alrighty.
No ifs, no ands, no buts.
It would be nice to know if he serves the elven family we butchered or a different one.
Well, if he's lucky enough to survive, then he can find out.
Let him finish, and then we can butcher him.
I'll leave that up to Darix. Is he gonna hold his move, or is he gonna go for it?
No, he's gonna go for it.
All right. Well, in that case, it is a great time, my friends, to roll initiative.
Okay.
I can't because there's no combat encounter.
Don't worry, I got you. I just have to do it. I think it's been a while since we've rolled initiative, you know?
Yeah, we didn't have any combat last session.
Coming
So
out with the
checking.
banger rolls today. Oh, that's a lot of dice. That's a lot of monsters.
It doesn't let me roll.
Yeah, I'm guessing he did not come alone. He's just
Where's
guy in the
my
doorway.
where's my thing? There it is.
Oh,
15.
it's good that
Hey,
Rogue's ahead of me. That means I get my concentration.
Oh yeah, another nat one.
Oh shit!
He just rolled
Thanks for
initiative
all
for
those
that night and like 6 chickens.
he's come with an entourage of chickens.
He's
Why are my
summoned the
initiative
chickens.
rolls so shit?
Don't
It's
worry,
the chicken night.
you'll be you'll be able to. Maybe that's something that rogues should do. Is they should have one slot of reroll initiative.
It would be nice because this is insane.
I'll think about
At
it.
level 3, you get to choose to be a fast rogue.
There's a
Oh my god, we did choose the chickens.
There is a rumbling of energy from beyond the veil that Silas had put in between the elf and the giant dragon egg, though nothing immediately apparent comes from it. Still, for Darix and Narath, there will be some soothingness that sort of exudes from it, as if evidence of the egg's well-being and, good health, so to speak.
Oh, that's good.
Ro, you are up.
Okay, so Ro is going to say, I care not who has sent you. If you have seen what we saw, you would understand our actions. But you haven't, and so now we will send you away. And he walks up and he goes to strike at him with his great axe.
The advantage.
Do I? Oh yeah, because
of True Strike, you do have advantage on your attack.
Epic.
Ooh, that is just good enough. Good job. All right.
Nice.
So, with triumphant push forward, Ro, you swing your great axe directly into this warrior who, bizarrely enough, almost matches your height. Much taller than you would expect from a presumed elf. As your blade strikes him, though it does indeed provoke some kind of reaction, there's something almost familiar about the way that his armor appreciates the assault. Though this be quite powerful forces, there's an almost spiritual cry, not from him, but from something within him. And he stares you down expectantly.
It's flesh.
He's a human suit.
Well, yeah, his armor is possessed or something, probably, I would guess. Since
he's
it's
a
familiar.
fucking chaos warrior, kill him.
Alright, now I'm gonna attack with the bite.
Alright, I think what is the way that it works is it's just attack on the first attack taken on that guy, it gives it advantage, right? So Ro doesn't have advantage on this.
Yeah,
one.
so it won't have an advantage on the bite.
Alright. Let's see it.
Okay.
With a roll of 13, Ro, you attempt to secure a portion of his armor or person with your teeth. Yet your bite proves inefficient to break through, and then you sense it much more thoroughly. Normally, this is the same sensation you would feel when taking damage from an enemy. But this time, the sheer act of blocking your assault infuses the warrior with a sickening red spiritual force. If you could see beyond his faceplate, you imagine he would be grinning with anticipation.
Oh, God.
Wait until he gets punched.
I bet you this...
That's right.
No, this motherfucker is a Blood Knight. Oh, no. Okay, well, that ends my turn,
slave Knoll.
Alrighty.
You should have taken a step back so I could hit him. I
didn't mean to toggle his combat
state. You can hit him
state.
from the side where the curtain is.
No, Ludman. I don't know what Ludman's roll was.
Ludman was a 19.
Oh, perfect. Well, he's almost got the same roll, but let me update the combatant because I meant to toggle his.
Why do the chickens have a turn?
All right, so
why don't the chickens?
Why wouldn't the chicken have a turn, dude? Well, we're
gonna
on
the other side of the room, probably.
I'm gonna do Ludman's turn because it was supposed to be before. He'll use his turn mostly to just sort of scramble up from his drunken stupor as he moves, shuffles and moves a little bit and surveys the situation, then moves a little bit closer to the dial, and without even getting close enough, realizes what it is and says, "Oh, fuck." Meanwhile, the chicken to Ludman's north immediately takes a surprisingly strident stride towards the front of the room. And then, entirely confidently, the chicken will open its tiny little beak, and out from it will pour a strange beam of energy.
Oh, no.
Of course. Why not?
This is the one that ate the self of strength.
Oh,
Laser
It actually
chicken?
is.
The
Laser chicken?
the energy seems to have affected the warrior, though not in a way to cause harm. Narath, it is
Healing
your
chicken.
turn.
What the fuck? Okay.
Dude, that's completely normal.
What the fuck?
Narath, you just saw laser
normal
chicken.
hyper beam chicken. Yep.
Okay. Can I use my bonus action to Arcana check what the fuck just happened?
Sure.
Mid.
Well, it didn't look like it was a positive thing. The energy rippled through the air and gave a stank of some kind of hostile intent, but you're not able to figure out exactly what it is. Just that the chicken doesn't seem to be helping the warrior.
All right. We won't have to commit total chicken death. We will touch his balls. We fail.
Ooh. The man stands quite tall despite your attempt at breaking him down. Ro, you'll feel yet another surge of spiritual force within him.
Oh God.
Has Narath faced a Blood Knight before?
They are more common on this continent, but more rare in general. I think Narath will have at least faced a Blood Knight. However, I don't think that you'd be able to sense that spiritual energy from your current proximity, or, well, I guess that's the major thing, is I don't think Narath would be immediately aware that the spiritual energy is there to put the pieces together as to whether it is a Blood Knight.
Okay. Well, that was my bonus action to do nothing and my action to do nothing. So.
There you go. That's how it feels. All right. The moment everybody has been waiting for. From behind the rest of the party, the Harlot Slayer attempts to pick himself up and present himself as a proud elven warrior. But there's no denying that Darex's fist left an impression upon the man's bruised noggin. And as he slowly, carefully strides forward, he surveys the situation, and he cries out, "Master, you are well! The world is yet saved!" Then he makes ready to draw his weapons for his next turn. Which leaves us with Darex and Ashtorium on deck.
Okay, how do I hit thing?
You can go down there, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, well.
There you go.
Wish I could flank him, but can't.
He is in the way, yeah.
Well, you know. I have one smite charge.
You do indeed.
A single
This
smite.
guy has some AC. Tell you what, save that for when you have advantage, because my turn comes before you. If he's still standing, I can just cast True Strike on him, and you can smite him. With advantage.
I definitely don't want to waste my smite, because this is just the first guy. I don't want to waste. I never get charges. It'll be forever until I get a long rest. So yep. Normal. 20.
Oh, you hit. Let's see that damage.
Okay, now we attack and normal. 12. Why is that so high? Damage.
No, that's an attack hit.
There we go. That's better. That sounds like that's not right for a morning.
All right, so as we remember, on a successful attack against a creature wearing armor that is 16 or more AC, you have a doubled bonus damage. So what was your roll at 1d8 plus 1? That's actually going to be a 4, FYI.
There you go.
Because it's a 1d8 plus 1, but the plus 1 gets doubled. So, yeah, every little bit helps. All right.
Right.
So that's 4 bludgeoning damage.
And it doesn't do anything to. It just adds the.
Yeah, that's the basic one. If you crit, then you actually permanently reduce his armor. So
okay.
you'll be hoping for a crit, I think.
Yes. All right. That will be it. I do believe so.
Okay.
I don't think I could do anything else.
You got a charge of your
wait.
breath weapon when you short rested, so if you wanted to
Oh,
breath
very
weapon him, you could, but if you don't, you can
I
keep
have
that.
2 or 3 charges.
Whatever it says on your character sheet is right, so you have 2. I just mean that you
Okay.
got another one when you rested, so like that's where you got
Okay.
it. That's where you got one
All
of
right.
your 2 charges.
I think. Well, Blink is ranged. Is the dwarf ranged?
He has not
I
produced
don't know.
weapons yet. He's just sort of stunned
Okay.
because like a normal dwarf.
Silas has a spear.
Yeah.
Does spear have an extra range?
Yeah.
Nope. Spear does not have reach. You
You
need
sure?
a
He
lance.
does have Mind Sliver.
He does have.
You think I'm ranged?
Well, he has a bow.
Yeah, you at least have a bow, so you can contribute.
Oh,
Okay.
I have Mind Sliver. I don't think I have a bow.
Okay, then I will end my turn.
All
The
right.
3 tankiest guys will be tanky, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
I can do other things though. I have spell slots.
I'm able to
Ashtorium,
squeeze through,
it's
right?
you.
Alright,
Oh no, because he's not
Punch.
he's not a willing creature.
That's going to be 1 failed attack from Ashtorium.
No, punch harder.
Oh,
He's gonna punch multiple times.
Okay. All right. So that one is going to hit.
Nice.
All right, for 5 points of damage. Bludgeoning, of course.
Aww.
Aw.
Man, come on.
That's
Yeah, this
actually.
guy has
I
high
just
AC.
realized because this is a bludgeoning attack. That's 1d4 plus 4, so that's actually 7 points of damage. So trying to keep track of that. It's a homebrew rule of the way that bludgeoning attacks work on heavy
Right,
armor.
yeah,
So
because it's not.
I don't
in
have it
Foundry,
plugged
so-
into the. I don't think I could plug it into Foundry, so I'd have to make my own rule book or whatever. We'll do that eventually.
So Ashtorium punches each shoulder and then hits him in the head.
Yeah. Only one of the shoulder hits works, but the other 2, they just fill him with even more spiritual force.
Oh, this is gonna be bad.
Kill the
He's
chicken.
gonna be able to do something on his turn.
Dude, you should make it so that whenever Ashtorium rolls a nat 20, it plays Al My Shoulder.
I wonder if the healing rejection thing works.
That's
Oh,
another
scare me.
beam of laser energy from the second
That was
chicken.
from Dota.
What'd you say?
That sound effect was from Dota.
Probably. I didn't pick them. Maybe I'll replace them all eventually. All right, so that's another pulse of negative energy placed upon the warrior, who seems not very pleased with that situation, but a chicken will bark victoriously. All right, so after each one of you has secured some very potent hits upon the warrior, he is none too pleased. Give me one moment here.
He shouldn't have killed those other chickens.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe they would be shooting him with lasers too.
He grabs a hold of his twin glaive, and as he brings it to bear against you, Ro, you feel a rush. That's going to be a successful strike against you for 6 points of slashing damage. You'll feel that trademark burst of energy fill you. As though your blood leaves, your spirits remain. Then, perhaps to your surprise, Ashtorium, the second flick of his blade will strike towards you, but you deflect it elegantly, despite the unexpected nature of the attack. Then, the warrior seems to, at least from Ro's standpoint, consume some of the energy that has been left to him. Oh, okay. He seems to restore some of his life essence. Then he looks towards you, Ro, menacingly, perhaps having noticed your aspect of, that spiritual component to your warfare,
Right.
and doesn't say a word. Silas, you're up with Blink on deck.
Silas places his spear in his shield hand, raises his free hand with the mark of Savras palm open towards the enemy, and he says, "You who would be our enemy, we will put you in your place. Now, and my eyes flash white as I command him, prostrate.
Ooh, what spell is that? Ah, okay.
He has to make a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw or follow the command with his action.
All right. Interesting. Okay. Perhaps in awe of Silas's power, the rest of the party will watch as the great warrior falls to one knee. There's almost a pull within him, a fight within him, but it does not result in him going any lower nor rising away from the command.
Whether or not it worked, if it did work, that will waste his action on his next turn.
Got it.
And that is my go.
Blink, you will have advantage on your attack.
Ooh.
So can I squeeze by him, even though, like, does it have to be a willing creature?
Yes. Well, normally the answer would be no, you cannot squeeze by him. But now, because he is prostrated, or at least he's on one knee, kneeling,
It won't be as easy for him to stop him,
he
right?
can't.
So.
Yeah, he cannot
Oh,
stop.
because he's been commanded. Yeah, because he's been commanded. He
So
can't do
that's
anything.
difficult terrain. So double movement cost for your 10 feet just cost you 20. Plus you had 5 feet earlier.
So I'm maxed. Oh no, I have 5 more feet.
Yes, that should be the case. So.
All right, so stepping through, squeezing by, he's gonna procure his dominating dagger, and he's going to stab.
All right, with advantage. Okay. All right, that second one will be the good damage roll. Let's see the damage.
Extra 1d6.
Okay, nice. 11 points of piercing damage. That brings the warrior to a very uncomfortable point where he's certainly breathing heavier, labored. There's some rage brewing within him. There will, especially for Ro, who will feel this sense of genuine anguish, sort of like waves of emotion roiling through the man's mind. But,
5 feet left.
For Blink, there is only glory.
All right, so cunning action dash. He's going to. That means I would have 35 feet left.
Okay.
He's going to take up. He won't go that way. Right? He'll slow still here, and he'll just kind of back up to this wall, gaining distance and also seeing the rest of the room.
All right. So, what is the rule, Sila, 3-Crow, about command in this particular case? It would prevent him from doing an opportunity attack, but would him attempting to do that allow him to rise early, or what? Does it just basically negate any reaction?
So it's not his reaction. It's the target must succeed on his saving throw or follow the command on its next turn. So he has to waste his action on his turn, but he still has his reaction.
Okay.
Oh wait, he still has a reaction? Then I would not have done that at all. I just assumed he couldn't because he was.
Yeah, I thought that he was gonna fall like immediately after Silas said it. I didn't know that it was something that he only does on his turn. So I misunderstood.
Yeah, so it's like the spell takes effect, and then when it's his turn, he has to follow the command.
But up until that point, he's does nothing. Okay. Well, where do you want to be then, knowing that he will potentially strike you?
Well, that fucks the whole turn because then I wouldn't have been able to go by him.
No, yeah, I'll just hand wave that part away.
All right. Then it would have been, because he has a reaction, it would have been cunning action disengage, and
then he would have just moved 5 feet.
Backed up 5 feet.
Got it.
But you can approach him and move around him without provoking an opportunity attack.
No, I wouldn't have been able to walk through was the problem because he would have been standing.
He wouldn't have been a willing creature, so he would have. Blink would have needed to roll like acrobatics to see if he could force it.
Oh, I see what you mean. That's
fine though. Like we'll just remember that for next time. All right. there's an awful lot of mystical, magical energy radiating from the source of the dragon egg in the corner of the room. It seems as if some sort of transformation is underway, but still, the egg does not budge. Ro, it is your turn.
So Ro is now very curious about this guy. And he's going to say, "Who are you that you use the power of the spirits as I do?" And he's going to reach out and he's going to try to wrench his helmet off his head.
Okay, give me an athletics check, but yeah, that's fine. Just give me an athletics check.
Okay.
Like you're grappling him, basically.
Yeah. I think the helmet comes off.
Well, especially since he rolled a nat 1 in response. All right. Okay, Ro, with ease.
Does it hurt his head? Deal 5 damage?
No, with relative ease, you immediately pluck the man's helmet off, revealing to everybody's surprise, not the head of an elf or even a human. You are now staring at the azure maw of a draconin, and it stares upon all of you with furious red coursing through its normally, aqua-colored eyes. Though it does not respond to you verbally, it certainly is not. It's none too pleased. You can tell that much. There's a fury of spirit.
Draconin?
Yeah, azure draconin.
Oh no!
By the Astranos.
All right.
That's
I
why
think,
I want the egg.
With no response from him, I think Ro's just going to assume that this is just a battle to the death now, and he's going to bite him.
You could have used your bonus action to do the grapple if you wanted to use your great axe
Okay,
instead.
that's fine. Then I'll use the great axe. That makes more sense. Okay.
What a nice DM.
Wait, I think my audio cut out. What did he look like?
He's an
blue draconin.
An azure draconin. Yeah.
What a loser!
All right, that will pass. That will hit.
Epic.
I can't believe he's dead.
14 slashing damage. You are bringing this man. Well, I mean, Silas technically is bringing this man to his knees next turn, but he's not looking too hot. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's not having fun. That's for sure.
Why are all the draconin here serving smooth skins? I don't understand.
All right. As Ro ceases his turn, this chicken ceases to be, having done its work.
Thank you, chicken. Thank you, chicken.
What?
The lady. He apparently controls them.
Yeah.
My time is come.
Ludman is kind of scratching his head, and he's not really sure. Like, clearly there's an air of uncertainty to him, but still, he reaches into a pack attached to his body and produces a light crossbow, aiming a shot directly at the great warrior. It only seems to fuel his warfare, however, as the shot bounces off of his armor. With a curse, Ludman will take a few paces closer to the dial and whisper to Narath, "That should have been a hit." And it's a dwarven whisper, so everybody hears it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a real whisper. It's just like they talk at normal volume instead
of really loudly. Yeah.
I like how dwarves
consider slitting the dwarf's throat.
Yeah. No humor, no sense of humor.
I'm 105.
That's
really
plenty of old people have a sense of humor. You're just a curmudgeon. Now do your turn.
Yeah, do your turn.
That's right.
I have no clue what the fuck Narath would do when it's revealed that he's fighting a fucking blue draconin that's working for elves.
You kill him.
The elves are bad, so
You don't know that.
That's right. You don't know that.
He's in the sea green of their colors. This is either a mercenary or his mind. So he has red eyes, whereas that's not a normal thing for blue draconin.
I assume that's the blood knight stuff going on.
Yeah. Blood Knight. That's what I presumed, anyway.
Narath would like to make another Arcanum check now that he knows that this is a fucking Draconin, to go through his mind about signs of mind control or mental influence.
Sure.
Any modifiers to this or just straight?
You could just do Arcana. That's fine.
Roll well.
All right.
Hey!
Narath, your assessment so far of the Draconin's power is such that you predict that while he is certainly, what would you say? He's certainly happy to battle potentially to the death. He doesn't appear to be under, arcane control. And so you reckon his actions are all his own, so far as you have been able to surmise.
Absolutely incensed, Narath strides over just a tad more, and he shouts at the top of his lungs, "A willing slave to necromancers. I will send you to hell myself." And except he doesn't.
Your whiffed assault serves as more fuel for the fire within this Draconin warrior, though he looks rather incensed about the accusation.
That's a sign of something.
Yeah, I assume he doesn't actually know what we were doing, or he's just been sent after us.
Yeah, but why would he try and 1v5?
Because he's a fucking Blood Knight.
Yeah, that's what Blood Knights do, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Ro does. Ro is just like, yeah, guys, let me suicidally charge and have no backup all the time. That's what I do.
That's right.
Hey, I'm just playing my character.
Where I am angry with everyone.
All right. Seeing that this is not the time for blades, as larger and more formidable, frontliners, as well as Ashtorium, have taken up all of the available melee slots, the Harlot Slayer will produce a longbow and immediately notch an arrow. As he does so, he cries out, "Look, this warrior, not even an elf, yet wears our colors. Fiend! Miscreant!" And he strikes an arrow directly towards him. Somewhat predictably, it doesn't quite find its mark.
Yeah.
If the last word he said was harlot, it would have hit.
Yeah, that's actually true. It was pretty close. All right.
Miscreant, harlot.
As the arrow fails, he says, "Not even a harlot," and then steps away. All right, Darex. You're looking at a man who's been accused of many things, but apparently none of them are sticking. At least none of the arrows are sticking.
Well,
he is looking kind of worse for wear, though.
Yeah, I would imagine he's taking a great axe to the face or something. I mean, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, he's bloody.
Knife to the back, the great axe to the mouth.
Slipping through all the extra parts of his armor, finding the weak points.
Is it?
Do you have a reaction to his draconinness, though? That would be a question.
Yeah, big, huge, wide eyes and wrath. Like, absolute. I too am incensed at this sight. But when Narath says that he's a servant of necromancers, I'm going to presume, since I'm standing right here, I see the look on his face.
Yes, he's very displeased by that accusation.
And so, like,
I think your passive insight would recognize that as, like, similar to the way somebody would react if they were falsely accused of something. So.
Yeah, exactly. And he's not like half dead, or right? He's just...
No, he looks to be in good health. Maybe a bit of an older Draconin warrior, but not that you've encountered this particular kind. But if you had to guess.
Nope. I have like 6 seconds. There's nothing I can really say in 6 seconds. I'm just gonna have to bludgeon him over the head. If he lives, we can interrogate him. If he doesn't, well, should have picked a better side.
You can specify
he is
that
a
you're trying
blood
to do
knight.
non-lethal.
So I don't think he's gonna stop fighting.
No, yeah, he's a Blood Knight, so I'm just gonna whack him again.
All right.
Nope, that doesn't
Oh.
whack. Nope, that won't do anything.
Despite his weakened state, your mace finds little ground upon his bludgeoned and bloodied armor. Instead, another surge of power fills him.
Yes,
Thank God
Astorium,
that's
get the
wasted
kill.
turn.
This guy has so many fucking sin dice right now.
What do they do again?
Depends.
He can
He
use
can
them to
heal.
increase his chance to hit and damage.
And
He
heal.
can also use them
And
to heal.
Too bad he'll be prostrating.
The thing
That
with
is-
healing though is that if I do land a chill touch, he can't heal. So that's why I keep trying, and it's really shitty. I keep rolling 7.
Yeah, but you could also just use all his sin dice to just fucking kill somebody.
Yeah, it's kind of worrying.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
I'm
alright,
gonna try
Astorium kills him
intimidate
right here.
checking him in a second. Although since he's a Draconin, we might want to spread out because he has a breath weapon.
Oh yeah, that's true too. He has not used that yet.
Alrighty.
All right, punch.
Astorium, let's see your punches. And also remember, you have that bonus grapple stuff if you want. Ooh!
Dang.
All right.
Ooh, yeah, that hits for
Roll
sure.
that damage.
Why would I grapple when I can just punch?
Punch,
It's
yeah,
true.
exactly.
It's true.
Yeah.
You'd have to be commanded to grapple. All right. 4 points of
That's
bludgeoning.
6 damage.
Oh yeah, 6 damage.
Mistakes. Mm-hmm.
And he's just gonna punch again.
Oh
And
shit.
again.
Oh shit.
12? 14? No, those
All
are
right, that one
Those are
works.
good.
That one works.
Okay, there you go.
Let's see that damage. Another
6.
6.
Another
You're really
6.
good at rolling the same
Ooh.
dice. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I know. We're all good at this tonight, apparently.
Yeah. 7s for Narath and. All right. Okay, Astorium, you just bludgeoned that man. You've punched all the spots in his armor, while one of your strikes does not ring true. The others found their way. It was like a sandwich of good stuff on the outside and one whiff on the inside. At this point, he is looking very much worse for wear. The chicken turns to regard you, Silas, and walks you. Then it vanishes in a puff of smoke.
What the hell?
No fried chicken tonight, boys.
Why do
God,
these
what's he gonna
chickens
do?
summon laser beams and get possessed by liches? I'll never figure it out.
Because it's funny.
I feel like he's gonna hit me really hard.
More
You
important than
probably-
anything you've ever done.
I'm going to be banished from the party because of fucking chicken decided to talk to me.
All right. Though the man
have it no other
falls
way.
to one knee, the Draconin before you is not out of the fight entirely. His action leaves him, being spent leaves him in dire circumstances, but as his wounds reconstitute before your very eyes, he begins to breathe deeply, and then from deep within him, a gathering of force.
I might have to use smite, bros.
No, I just backstab him and snap his neck at the same time. It's fine.
Well, how about you do that on your turn?
Yep.
Don't mess
I know
up.
what I'm doing on my turn.
I hope that. I mean, we also have the egg. We have no idea what the egg will do. I hope.
I don't know what's
what the egg
happening
will
to the egg right now.
I hope the egg heals us and restores all our spell slots.
Yeah, Darks. Yeah, that would be cool. Darks cannot see the egg. So
It makes him scary. It makes him not happy.
Yeah, he doesn't like not seeing the egg.
All right. Okay, so
That's not a good
let's see.
sound, boys.
Let's
That's
see.
not a good
Astorium, Ro, and Darix need to make me a Constitution saving.
Does he have cleave? He's got cleave.
No, this is his breath weapon.
Ha
Oh, nice. Very
Ro's gonna
good.
take half damage.
Uh,
Fuck.
Eesh.
You're gonna pass barely.
yeah, I think he just barely passes.
That's not a good sign.
Does he barely pass? I have to go find where it is.
DC 13. DC 13.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right, Shambler. It is a DC 13. All right. Darix
This
and
guy's
Ro,
not that
a
much
slight
higher level,
chill will strike you as 4 points of cold damage, inflict
no.
upon you. But Ashtorium isn't so lucky, slowed further by the burst of freezing breath from this Azure Draconin for 8 points of damage.
That's 11. That was
That-
11.
What did I
That
do?
was 11.
Yeah, you did 11. That's not 8.
Dealt 11.
To
I did minus 8.
Ashtorium.
Why did he get minus 11?
Hey, we all saw minus 11 pop up.
I don't know. That's weird. Yeah, you're right.
Wait,
he was at 19.
Wait, why couldn't his cone do that? That's not fair. What a bastard.
No,
This is
no,
bigger
our
than
cones
yours.
have been much larger. Don't.
Yeah,
don't
your
go down
cones
that
go
road.
wider, so you get like a line.
Oh.
His is like a fork more than that.
Well, don't let him do that again.
It seems
a
as
lot of
if he, after doing that brilliant display of cold damage, the Draconin, even though this wasn't necessarily part of the command, seems to bow his head before the party, as if he's given all he has, and now awaits judgment. Silas, you're up. Blink up next.
How is this fellow looking?
Pretty bruised. His reconstitution from the last round helped him out a little bit, but he's still very much on, you can surmise last legs.
He's not bloodied.
He's definitely bloodied. I'm saying he's beyond bloodied,
Oh.
he's like
I
close to
don't
death.
see the icon on him.
Yeah, I don't think you will see the icon on him.
All right, I have a question for you. Could I try to make an Arcana check to attempt to cast message as a bonus action?
Okay, sure. We'll allow it this time. I mean, you have pre-established some kind of connection with him since you have influence on him with the command. So that's actually why I would think to allow such a thing.
Does that pass is the question.
Well, that would be his. I guess what would he be rolling if he didn't want this? Like a wisdom save or something?
Yeah, I guess it'd be a wisdom.
Yeah. All right, that passes. So you are allowed to message, assuming you're messaging him. If you're messaging something else, then you're fine.
Yeah, messaging him. All right.
Oh, the message is.
Oh my
goodness. God.
Why are all these so loud?
Just change your volume.
Yeah. Why is there someone doing yoga over me? Anyway, Silas will, glaring at him between the others, say into his mind, "If you have any desire of living, you will apologize and explain yourself. And if this is your goal, then be prepared for it to be your last."
This is a blood knight. I don't
Ashtorium
think
says the
that's gonna
same
work.
exact thing.
Despite not being in the message.
The response is short and to the point, but at least you get a response from this warrior as he says, "I have failed in my task. Death is my fate."
Keep him as a pet.
Then
Just
so be
so
it.
we need 2 suicidal Draconin in the party. Oh,
That's
gee.
right. Yep. Epic.
I'm
I
tired of
want to take him and
babysitting.
torture him for information.
We have to give them a 72-hour hold.
All right, I'm going to hold my action. If he is still alive at the beginning of his turn, I will attempt to cast a sleep spell on him.
Okay. Sounds good. In that case, Blink, you are up.
All right, go ahead and execute him like you wanted.
Yeah. Survive Blink and then Row. And then
You
they're
heard
at
my
them.
robot.
All right, so I guess we'll have to see how much damage I do first.
Yes.
What's his AC? It's like
Uh,
16.
Right
16 hit
now.
last time, right?
Yeah, but that was because of the chickens.
Yeah, I think
I'm
it's
just
like
wondering, do I
20
get
or
dominating
something,
dagger
right?
or no? Do
No,
get the
I
domination
think you
part?
barely even hit him. He has like a 20 AC right now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. His normal AC was because I remember when I first hit him and I got like 22 or something. He was like, "Oh yeah, that hits." It's like slightly higher than his AC.
All right. So how are you? Are you going in for the kill here?
Yes.
Okay. Go tell me how. Describe it. What are you going for?
Stepping forward, his dagger will be in his right hand, and
Uh-huh.
he's going to reach and grab like his chin, his like scaly ass chin with his left hand, and as he like plunges the dagger into his back, he's gonna try and rake his left hand to snap his neck at the same time.
Okay, well, I'm gonna need an athletics check on that because this
Yeah,
man's like
he-
7 foot tall and
That's
much
fine.
bigger.
Yeah, he's imagine trying to do that to Ro, basically.
Yeah.
You turn into a blue
Ah,
draconin as
shit.
you do this.
Yeah. Oh, eh.
Is that allowed?
Yeah, for rule of cool reasons, yes.
If you're
So you
trying
don't
to
roll.
transform, the Harlot Slayer is looking right at you. So
Yeah, it wouldn't happen anyway.
yeah.
That's fine.
Can the Harlot Slayer really see?
Yes.
No, he can't. There's a curtain in the way and people in the way.
No, there's no curtain in the way of
No.
him. He's right above
There's no
Ro.
curtain in the way,
He's
yeah.
right above
Oh,
the.
never mind. Yeah, he's looking.
He moved.
We can kill
and
the
he
Harlot
shot
Slayer.
with the bow.
Like Shane was just like, we can just kill him.
Regardless, the dagger is plunging into his chest, like from behind.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay. There's a brief sigh. You're not sure if it's of pain, suffering, or closure. And either way, the blade seems to have done exactly what you hoped it would do. A fatal wound inflicted upon your foe. And while he, not really stands there, but kneels there, relatively motionless, you can tell your blade has done its duty and that this draconin is sure to fall limp with time.
He's still breathing.
Yeah, but it's
He's about
like
to go?
very clearly he's
Like he's on death's doorstep.
this is like the equivalent of trying to pass your death saves kind of thing,
Yeah, this is
I
his
can
death
spare
throw.
the dying him, and he'll be inactive, and we can knock him out.
Will my athletic skill check of 6 allow me to like kind of nudge him over?
He's still a rock despite your attempt at shoving him into Ro's arms.
Oh, wait, I had a
All right,
bonus
Egg.
action.
What are you
No.
doing?
Yeah, speak, Egg. Eternity, speak.
All right. So, with that out of the way, as the enemy seems to have been defeated, you all will notice that the clatter upstairs seems to be coming to a close as well. It sounds like perhaps more standard footing has returned, and while there's no immediate sign of what that is, there's something else that draws your attention. Eternity, the dragon egg, now seems to be exuding magical energy at a much higher rate, the air filling with the smell of oxygen, of burnt air, singeing magics being used. And then, before all of your very eyes, the egg will shrink into a smaller state.
He wants to be easier to smuggle.
Omelet.
I
We want it to be big for an omelet.
Omelet. Omelet. Omelet.
You're both dead.
No, Narath first.
No,
That's fine.
no.
No, actually, in this case,
Wrath will take you the hell with him.
Yeah, we would kill both of you, and then I would kill Narath, and then the party would be down to 3 people.
Then some random red draconin busts in, like, hey.
Hey.
Okay. Ro, you're now staring at a dying blood knight before your very eyes. If you have
Let me
things to
cast
say,
Spare the Dying.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into his eyes.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say, and Ro's gonna say, "It is a shame that it has come to this. It seems we are more alike than I would have thought. I would have liked to learn things from you, but it seems we will not have that option." And then Ro is going to attempt to bite him.
Nope, don't bite him.
No.
Don't bite him?
why?
No biting.
No, I am going to cast Spare the Dying so I can interrogate this man.
He doesn't know that.
Yeah, Ro doesn't know. That.
He also probably doesn't want to interrogate him.
Yeah. Yeah, well...
Well, he
you know,
just said he
This is
wanted to
odd.
learn things from him, so I don't know. Maybe he does want to interrogate.
Yeah, you want to like.
Yeah, but if he,
I don't think it's gonna work out if we like.
yeah, does he have any reason to want to
Guy's
keep him
just gonna go
alive?
into a blood
Okay,
rage.
I will put it like
Wait.
this: Narath looks like he wants to rush over there in a second.
Yeah, he's not looking at you though. Like he's looking at the fucking
You
draconin.
are
on his-
a
Okay.
demon.
Then Ro is gonna attempt to knock him out.
There
How
you
about
go.
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
do that.
Just clobber him with your bare hands, kind of thing, or like with the butt of your hilt of your
Yeah, with
axe?
the butt of the great axe. Yeah.
Fucking bitch slap him.
Just
Backhand.
Okay,
Fucking smack him in the head with it.
Give me a 1d8.
Come on. Knock him
Okay.
out. Don't
you don't
be
need to roll
mean.
for
Don't-
attacks, though.
Yeah, don't be mean.
1d8.
3!
3.
Well,
Three! That
honestly,
works. That's
that
guaranteed.
is enough. All right, so the man, the Draconin kind of like slumps over. Blink will have to use some sleight of foot to kind of skirt by him as he falls backwards all the way onto his back right before you, unconscious, bleeding out, very close to death. And that, my friends, is a good time to hit the end combat button.
Yeah.
So Narath is gonna stride over. And
Hey, wait,
sorta-
Ludman gets a turn first because he was first.
Oh
in the
my
turn.
God, Ludman, fine. Say you're mean.
Ludman, kill him.
Ludman
Oh,
turns
that's
to
right.
the Harlot
Ludman.
Slayer and says, "What the hell is that?" The Harlot Slayer looks aggrieved and kind of like waves a hand at his nose as if trying to move the stench away. All right, now Narath, you're good.
Okay, so Narath is gonna walk up and sort of motion for Ashtorian to move. And then he's gonna reach down and he's gonna kind of pick up the knight by the armor, by that where his neckline is the armor, and the helmet's removed now, so he can sort of grab the chest plate and move
Okay,
him up.
you're trying to shuffle him like into a sitting position or what?
Yeah, like I'm kind of looking at his unconscious form as I put my hand on his shoulder and cast Spare the Dying on him, so he's stabilized. And then as Narath does this, he says, "It would seem 2 traitors were revealed this night. I will have words with you before you go, before I fulfill my oath."
I can't wait to stab him.
All right.
And then he will move to drag the guy away from the doorway.
Okay, so that's happening in front of you, Darix. Do you have a reaction?
Darks is confused, angry. He does not. He doesn't know how to feel. He doesn't want the guy tortured. He just wants to ask him questions. And he is actually going to finally, for the first time, turn around to look at the egg, and like he smelled the magic, but he didn't actually see the egg. It's small now.
That's right.
His eyes widen, and he picks it up and he cradles it very, very carefully and gently against him.
The egg, despite its smaller appearance, its smaller stature, seems to weigh much more than you would have expected looking at it. It's as if the weight did not shrink proportionate to the size.
Oh, it's heavy.
It's heavy. Not like, it's not the exact same weight, because then you wouldn't be able to pick it up at all, but it's not...
Yeah.
It's not as light as it probably ought to be.
It's not an egg.
As
it's not just a regular egg.
Yeah, it's a rock. No, there's a like a crackling of energy as you hold it, and that's powerful but soothing all the same voice of eternity rings through your mind as it communes directly with you to say, "Fear not, Darix. Your time spent has given me time necessary to make our escape more of a possibility."
Darks is gonna say under his breath, like involuntarily, thank the Starfather. Whether the other two actually hear it, probably do, but it's actually quiet for him. And then he's going to very quietly apologize. "Forgive me for all of the wanton violence and corruption that has befallen you and everything around you. You'll be safe soon."
While this land is sick, there can be safety for no one. It is not a guarantee. Yet, under your protection, and the protection of your party, we shall yet right this wrong. the voice of eternity seems more assured and less concerned than before, as if a calming has approached it in some way.
This calming directly affects Starks, and his anxiety is greatly lessened as well. Although he still can't communicate with Kennercon, I presume.
You could try to reach out if you want, but yeah, so far you have not been able to.
Okay, well, I'm going to reach out right now in the quiet. Trying to reach out to Con. Do I make connection?
You sense something that, the sort of mental space where Kennicon occupied, there is some sort of stirring, but you don't get a reaction or like a response per se. There's no words or thoughts. It's just a sense of loyalty and oaths sworn, those kinds of feelings of service and duty.
Well, that's good. It's very good. Can I put the egg in my pack, or is it still too big for that?
It's still continuing to shrink as you hold it, and seems that it's working on the weight issue as well, making it so that it should be possible to shoulder in a pack of some kind.
Okay, well, I'm still going to ask it for, out of respect, is it well with you if I place you within the confines of my pack between two unborn draconians?
An excellent idea, for I shall look no different than them. For now.
Wonderful. So that's exactly what he's going to do with like a ridiculous amount of delicacy for something so large and scaly.
Yeah.
I will place it snug right in between the other two, and then put the kind of bedroll around all three of them, making sure they're all nice and snug with each other and safe from being jostled around.
Eric's trips and rolls for backpack omelet.
As Darix, finish assembling, and assorting the eggs within your pack, the great booming voice of Kennicon rings out, a welcome sense in the din of combat that just occurred, and you'll hear him say, "It is a great conquest we completed, and now the egg is closer to safety than ever." Darix, you're not the only one who hears that, actually. The whole party hears it. It was you who said it, but your voice was not your own. It takes you a moment to realize that.
Darix is actually pleased with this. He doesn't understand it, but he feels, secure, and, in his head, he says thanks and glory to the Starfather, to Kennicon. He feels rejuvenated despite actually physically still being exhausted, but spiritually and mentally he feels a lot better.
Hearing this, Javai will kind of look at everybody that he can see. Obviously, the curtain's drawn, and will say, "Yes, a fine mission and result indeed. But it is clear we cannot stay here. I have a safe house. It is the only place we should be right now. So I suggest we move as quickly as possible."
A safe house?
The elf clutches at his longbow and holds it to his chest and says, "As you decree, my lord."
Nodding to Slayer and then looking to Darix, he will say, "Yes, Darix, a safe house. It is the only place that we should be in here, surrounded by, well...
By who?
Not by many, but simply empty. We have rooms that would be our own, people who would not ask questions, which is better than we can say for anything else."
Why did we not go there before here?
How far is it? It's like hours?
Yeah, it's like You would have needed to escape the Inquisition tale. So.
Yeah. Because, young Tharax, it is hours on horseback, and we were traveling with a much larger object than before. It seems that that place is the best place to be right now.
It is necessary that I commune with my elders. I need a forest, the sky, the night, the star.
So we have discussed this. My arboreum would not satisfy those needs. Is there anywhere within that location that would?
You probably could go outside the district to one of the basically you could go outside Inalance's walls and then come back because the Sazarin district is pretty close to the western border, if you will. So if you traveled there first, you could still make it before the sunrise that your deadline is.
Would it be possible to go? Would it be reasonable to think that we could go to the safe house and then, while we're handling the safe house, Darix could leave, or would they just not let him leave?
I guess you're not sure about that, but in principle, the plan should work. The question is mostly can you find another? Because you have 24 hours to get there, right? Assuming it's early sunrise outside right now. So you have time to find another forest and then go to the safe house after in the thick of night or the early the sunrise kind of thing. Early sunrise.
Doesn't Darix have to have the stars though?
Yeah. So I'm saying you could go tonight, and then tomorrow morning would be when you go. You have to be there before the sun rises. You have to be in the safe house. It's
the day after.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of time spent not in a safe place. So I was thinking safe house, and then during some downtime, he would be able to leave the building to go to that forest, is what I mean, to the nearby.
Well, it's your call. You can lie and say, "Yeah, we'll totally do that, bro." We can go outside the wall.
I am actually trying to avoid lying right now, Narath. I know that's a
Blink probably knows that if he lies to Darix and Darix finds out, Darix is going to be very mad.
Yeah,
and he doesn't want to get killed.
Silas says
everyone lies to everyone. My point is there? Yeah. So it sounds like it is reasonable to believe that we could end up at the safe house, and there would be time within that night for him to leave and commute.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could make it. You could make it there before the sun even sets in this evening, and then still go in the evening.
Right.
Yeah, I was just worried if we had got there.
That's assuming you can get past all the Inquisition, actually get on. That kind of thing.
I was mostly worried about.
Assuming we're not stonewalled by.
Assuming we don't die before then. Yeah, I was just worried about us getting into the building and then being like, "Oh, you're here. You don't need to leave, bro." And then he's fucked. That's what I was worried about. But if I have no reason to believe they would do that, then Darix, you will see Javai or Blink or whatever the fuck his name is right now. It's obviously Javai. But you'll see Blink turn his head over a little bit as he ponders, and he will say, "Yes, I suggest we go to the safe house first, as it sounds like you need the stars. And then, once it becomes nighttime, there is a forest just outside the walls of Inalance that you could commune within. Does that sound reasonable?"
He has no expression on his scaly face for a few moments, as if communing with something. And after a moment, he just gives a single nod of his head.
Then it is settled. We move. Oh, and Ludman, are you sticking with us on this one?
Ludman seems deep in thought and is currently, you imagine, giving the Harlot Slayer a very long look. But he turns around as you address his name.
My favorite part of this is he has no idea who I am.
Yeah, and he turns around as he hears his name, and he says, "What? There's two of you?"
it just clicked for him that there's two elves.
How much did I drink?
You drank a lot. especially with my friend Silas here. He had you going.
Well, Ludman
Narath
will
will
be
pipe
looking
up
at
and
Silas,
say-
and he like kind of gives him a nod of happy smile or whatever. But then it quickly sours as he looks back to the elf. But what's Narath doing?
He'll say, "Do not worry, dwarf. They hate elves as much as you. The one above hates whore elves. The one below hates all elves, except the one that hates whore elves. You will get along."
So you just sold my entire identity. That's cool. I'm literally
No,
just
I don't
bro.
think how Harlan Slayer
No. Hates all elves but the whore elf.
Hey, I mean, so long as the dwarf doesn't talk shit about us, I think it counts.
Narath was saying that the elf that is Javai, who is supposed to be the elf lord, who obviously does not hate elves, hates all elves except for
No,
the
he
Harlot
thinks he's
Slayer.
superior than all elves.
But that's not what you said.
That's not what you said, dude.
Yeah, you just 100%
silly.
like at that point. I would
Like,
need
now we have to kill Harlot
somebody
Slayer.
would need to bonk Harlot Slayer on the head so he forgets this. Otherwise, like, what the fuck did you just do? Did you want to rephrase that maybe? Where are you going with?
Do I want to rephrase
No,
that?
no.
Do I want
So
to kill
all right. So he
Harlot
said it. He
Slayer?
said it. It's over. He said it. So Javai
I
is going.
think-
Javai's
I
going to
think instead of bonking Harlot Slayer, I think we bonk Narath and just say, this old senile man. He doesn't. He doesn't.
I'm in the process of doing something similar. So Narath said it. It's all over. And Javai is going to stutter and he's going to say, "Hate is not the word I would use, Narath."
And the Harlot Slayer will likewise pipe up and say, "And I do not hate the harlots. Many of them are not even elves. Who is this old man you have with you, and why does he make no sense?"
He is a senile old one. He is addled and tired from a long journey. Forgive his outburst, pointed ear.
He looks as if he is seconds from the crypt. A decrepit
Wow.
specimen.
Derek
Yes.
will look
Narath will try to
absolutely.
look as drunk as possible.
Okay.
As Derek looks over at the Harlot Slayer and then back at Narath, who go, "Yes, he is just moments away from the crypt."
And quite addled with alcohol and spirits. Things begin to make more sense.
The silver ones already have, shall we say, mental. Well, they lack. Yeah, I'm sure you understand. Come, old one. Derek will step forward. You're just tired.
All right, so
Narath
I have to
will pick up
nudge.
the warrior.
I got to
and
nudge
then walk
Silas
away.
here. What's Silas doing? What are you up to?
Well, how confused does the dwarf look right now?
The dwarf is very concerned at the presence of multiplying elves in his dwarven, like his supposed to be secret society of dwarves. So he's very unhappy with that.
If Silas does notice this, he will cast a message on Ludman.
Yes, it's safe to say you notice it. So, all right, let's see.
Oh my goodness.
Why does it make a musical sound?
Oh.
Hallelujah.
Messaging via
Why
music.
does it sound like angels are descending from heaven? All he's doing is doing a mental message. I don't
Yeah.
get it.
It's like the Fox movie fanfare, but then you just hear Silas's deadpan voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no way we're making it to the manor before this session ends.
So, all right, so Silas will cast a message on him, and he will say, Ludman, our friend is merely wearing a disguise that we use to fool the elf. He does not know it, but we will be questioning him later based on our investigations. Do not mind him for now. He is a temporary presence.
I'm going to need a persuasion check, my friend.
With advantage?
Better roll well.
Because you're his friend and you drank and you gave him a lot of beer.
He doesn't need the
Nice.
advantage.
19.
He doesn't need the advantage. All right.
Roll to see if you crit.
The eyes of Ludman just sort of like go wide as the mental voice of you is now sort of filling his mind, and B, the plan, the ingeniousness of the plan. It seems to sink in on Ludman. He's almost like mentally giving you like nods of awe, and maybe also physically, like out in the just kind of slack-jawed, like nodding, and like as he's doing that, and then that all is happening, and then his only response is, "That's brilliant."
Does he say that out loud because he doesn't understand the magic?
He understands the magic, but he does say it out loud.
So Silas will give him a slight, like, smug smile in return.
All right. Did you have any other things you wanted to say, given the circumstances? It seems like a new plan is being hatched about traveling to some safe house that Blink has, posing as Javai right now for the Harlot Slayer's sake, and then the egg stuff that happened earlier, all that.
Yeah, so Silas will pipe up after the message and he'll say, "I do agree that we should keep moving, but I fear that if we were to leave now, some of us might be exhausted. Perhaps we should try to recover the last hour or two of this rest and then make our way."
Norath will say, "We heard sounds of battle, or at least struggle upstairs. I do not believe this place is safe. Better we leave now."
We did?
Yeah, there was as soon as the Draconin smashed in through the wall or through the door, there was as that was happening, there was sounds of a struggle upstairs, steel and yelling and stuff. Though at the suggestion that the place is unsafe, Ludman will be a bit growly and say, "Oh, there's no way. Look, the dial even says it." And he points to the dial that indicates maximum danger.
Yes.
I believe you're reading it upside down.
We are leaving.
Oh. Well, if it's maximum danger and not minimum, I might have a thing that could help. And with that, he confidently strides up top and then begins attempting to move the crates that were left there earlier. The Harlot Slayer is sort of staring at him from behind, but takes like a step back. And as he backs up to be adjacent to Silas, he'll say, "What an interesting specimen. Stinky, but interesting. Don't you think?"
Indeed. Some of them can be useful.
I shall have to see. Ashtorium, do you have any reaction to what is happening or happened? You are looking a bit worse for wear after.
Oh, he's just gonna follow Blink.
Okay. Blink, what are you doing? Anything?
I'm checking to see if the chicken is still in the cage.
Oh. Yeah, it seems to be.
Alright, well, Blink is gonna walk over and try to unlock the cage.
Alright. Ro, it seems like you're doing something. Are you helping the crate movement?
Yeah, I walked over to help Ludman move the crates.
All right. Ludman seems to appreciate your assistance and then says, "I did have it," even though he was struggling a lot. Then he takes a step forward and pushes open the door emphatically. Turning to face the party, he says, "Eh?"
Darks will raise a scaly eyebridge. Eh?
"We can go this way. It's safe here." And he takes a step out.
What is...
And he gets pelted by 6 crossbow bolts.
Ludman is dead before he even hits the floor.
It's even funnier because for a while we just couldn't see over the crates, so we were just seeing him.
Just gesturing to darkness.
Yeah, all you hear is stump, and we find he's like Boromir from Lord of the Rings, just big arrows.
No, Ludman.
All right. Blink, there doesn't seem to even be a lock for your thieves' tools to slot into. Instead, as you approach, the door naturally swings open, but the chicken remains in its cage and walks at you.
Despite all his rage, he's still just a chicken in a cage.
Javai, looking at the chicken, he's gonna say, I'm sure that this disguise means nothing to you, because you seem to know way more than I would assume. Would you like to come with me?
The chicken walks at you and says, "Oh, you might need to take my cage."
Oh, this is the cage that I can't move, right?
Well, it does seem to be the same cage.
I just couldn't pick up. I'll try and lift the cage. I'll close the door first, and then I will try to lift the cage.
The cage lifts up with ease. It barely weighs a thing.
This fucking chicken. Javai will nod and say, well, okay. And then he'll take the cage and obviously the chicken in the cage with him, and he will pick up some bread before he leaves so he can feed the chicken while they go.
As you move away from the position with your cage, the chicken will say, "Walk by," and vanish. But you get the sense that its presence is still with you.
The cage is the chicken. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna pick up some bread for when he magically comes back because he's a fucking teleporting laser chicken.
All right. As you make away with your teleporting laser chicken cage and some bread, you'll see Ashtorium assisting Narath in hefting the great warrior. The Harlot Slayer will look to you expectantly and say, "Ah, master, what be that for?"
Well, these chickens seem to have magical powers, and this seems to be one of its homes, so I figure a magical chicken can't hurt the cause.
Interesting. Hard times must have fallen upon our house, but we will persevere.
Yes, Slayer, we will.
All right, so Narath and Ashtorium are working to move the warrior, or at least heft him. Meanwhile, Ro, you followed Ludman out.
Yep.
And it takes him. You see Ludman kind of like scanning the left and the right, and he's like, as if he's trying to like remember something important. And then he says, "Wrong door," and he begins to walk towards the other door to the north.
Do you really know where you're going, bearded one?
I must tell ye, I know everything about this place. I'm just hungover. Then, pressing one, without looking at the door, he presses one hand to it, and I'm just having the Harlot Slayer follow.
Yeah, Blink's gonna back up because he thinks he knows what's inside this door, although nothing is as it seems in this fucking building.
He places one hand on the door without looking, and it seems to as if recognizing his touch, it swings open, and then immediately a snarling gnoll, half clad in armor, covered in burn marks, rushes to the door with salivating claws and maw, only for Ludman to say, "No dogging down!" And the gnoll backs up begrudgingly.
Darks will look back at Ro.
You have a knoll here?
It's not mine.
I haven't seen a living one of my kind in a great deal of time.
Blink will silently think to himself, kind of to the point where Splinter would probably be able to hear it, and he'll just say, "I knew they had a dog.
Faint, resonant cackling. Then the Harlot Slayer says, Master, what's so funny?
Wait. What?
Everyone's spirits could be.
Wait, did anyone hear that? Did everyone hear that?
Everybody.
Oh, okay. Oh, so we're all just Gelter now. Fuck.
You've all been geltered.
Darix is going to ignore the cackling because this place is weird. He's going to ask Ludman, and just where exactly are we going?
Oh. You
Wrong
see,
door?
this is a hidden passageway.
Ah.
It's so hidden, only a dwarf could find it. Go ahead. Give me your best shot. See if you can find the hidden passageway.
Perception skill checks.
That's a 3.
Darix is gonna look over here.
Okay.
What is this? What is it? I can't even tell.
It's some cabinets, like dressers.
Oh. Well, he's going to open the cabinets.
What
There-
do I see?
Bizarrely, there doesn't seem to be any cabinets, like any contents of the cabinets in there. It's entirely empty, both of them.
Definitely a false wall.
Yes.
Narath, you notice a little bit of disturbance in the area, the stench of knoll, the leftover residue, dead fish and rotting fish, carcasses of past meals, perhaps. And you also see Ludman's face get noticeably more worried as Darix moves closer to the eastern part of the room.
He's gonna find my hidden passage.
Dark's gonna turn his head.
Points and says, "It's over this way."
Yeah, he's going to say, "Quite a strange thing, bearded one, to keep a humongous empty cabinet." Yes.
Ludman will turn with a sunken expression and look at the knoll and say, "You ate all of them?"
Ate what?
He'll look back to you, Darix, with a very sunken expression and just say, "My sheets."
Darix is going to, claw around. Like this has to be like, why would it, this is the only place there could be one, and I guess it's against the wall. So
Ro's gonna give the other Null a very confused look upon hearing that he's eating the dwarves' bitch.
The knoll is looking up at you with a gaunt, like sunken, like looks like not very well fed, almost emaciated, right? But its breath stinks of raw fish, as if it's eaten very recently, and its den doesn't smell much better. As it looks upon you with admiration of your power and physical might, it kind of does the Knoll thing where they they acknowledge their superior physically at the very least, and he's like kind of like still trying to make eye contact while cowing his head down a little bit.
Tell me your name.
Ruff.
He doesn't even speak.
Are you saying that in common, or are you saying that
in common?
Okay. So the Knoll seems to be rather confused at the utterances, and it says in Gogrish, "Don't tell me you don't speak Gogrish."
I respond in Gogrish. No, I do speak our language. I haven't used it in a long time.
Well, me neither. I've been down here with these drunken louts. At least they feed me well.
He's smarter than he looks.
It doesn't look like they've been feeding you well. You look as if you've eaten very little in a long time.
That's because I'm dying.
Ah, well.
Well, that's very bad news. What's wrong?
Ask him what his name is.
Oh, and my first question that you didn't understand in common was, what is your name?
My name is Fintus, and I must tell you, you are dying too.
Oh,
Am I now? I don't feel as if I'm dying.
Neither do I, yet death comes for us all.
true.
Are you talking about aging?
Yes, the enemy of all who live, the aging.
Well, yes. All, well, I don't know about all. The way they speak of the dragon, it sounds like it may not die of old age, but us mortals, we all perish eventually.
While they're talking in their weird doggy demonic tongue,
Yeah.
Darks is, like really intently clawing around in the cabinet and searching for any things.
The back wall of the top drawer, like the upper cabinet, seems as if it would go down quite flimsily if given a little bit of a proper physical, what would you call it? Physical encouragement.
Touch, push. Okay, well that's exactly what he's going to do.
All right. So you're just going to clobber it, or how are you going to do it?
I'm going to at first try and be gentle, but if that doesn't work, I'll hit it a little harder and then a little harder. But
the third little harder will do just enough to shatter the wood and splinter it, revealing a most interesting little extra alcove.
Darks will turn around and look over his shoulder and with a toothy half smile say, "That only dwarves can find, eh?"
Seeing and hearing the door open, Javai, Blake, if he believed in anything, he would be thanking it right now as he immediately tries to walk through it because he does not want to be a part of this.
Darks will move the crate that is very obviously over some kind of trap door.
Oh no, that's a metal crate underneath the wooden crate.
Oh, okay, never mind. Then, then he will
You got
move
fooled.
the wooden crate off of the metal crate.
The metal crate seems unremarkable.
He's going to open the wooden crate.
As you pry open the wooden crate, there's the sudden smell of raw meat, well preserved, starts to fill the room, and it causes Sventus to begin salivating. Oh, good! They found even more dwarven food. They're
You really enjoyed
thing that can stop aging.
What?
Everyone in this room is so stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know much, but I don't believe dwarven food prevents aging.
The gnoll will gesture behind him to part of his den that is full of, like, scraps of paper. I've read the texts.
Wait, you can read?
Damn, I can't read.
He looks a little sheepish and says, I can digest them.
Wait, do you mean you eat the pages and somehow gain the knowledge contained within?
They speak of brews that will outlast even the longest-lived dwarf.
Well, now that's something I do believe.
He seems satisfied with himself and nods.
He's just talking about the fucking, 500-year barrel-aged whiskey.
That's right. The alcohol is older than any person, therefore if you drink it, you will live as long as the alcohol is.
You can see how some, miscommunication could have gone.
Well, of
or
course, dude.
misunderstanding.
This is why they're always drinking.
Yeah.
Of course, man. That's
yeah, there you go.
yeah.
It's just to extend their lifespan.
So the so Blink, as you and Darix begin moving around and looking around, the crate full of meat is one thing, but the everything here seems about as normal as it could be, despite what Narath found earlier. Or he insisted that the pathway was this way.
Why would he hide this behind the thing? Why would he hide meat behind?
So that the null didn't need it?
Because it keeps you alive forever.
Sure, apparently it does keep you alive forever.
You got to move the metal crate, bro.
Fentis or whatever, yeah. He's probably to prevent Fentis from eating it.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. I'm going to push the wooden crate to the corner and then open the metal crate.
The metal crate is looking like it's a bit difficult to open. You may have to use a crowbar.
Yes, Blink will offer you the crowbar because he is Javai and this work is above him or below.
All right, then Dark will take the crowbar and crowbar the crate.
What are you saying?
Callbar.
Callbar. He will callbar the crate.
All right, give me an advantaged athletics check. Also, you'll notice Ludman drawing a little bit closer as you begin your work.
It's definitely the chair that's underneath the sheet.
Hey, that would be really funny. Okay, 17.
You have advantage. You can roll a second time. See if it's any higher. We'll take
See
the
if
higher
you
one.
crit. Oh,
All right.
that's 3.
Well, it's taking you some time to pry open the lid, but prying it open is something that is clearly possible. As you begin to do so, you'll hear Ludman call out, "No, no, no! It's the wall!
Ah, the wall!
I told you only a dwarf could find it."
Darks will laugh, but keep prying open the crate.
Yeah, you gotta finish the job. So it's in the crate.
Yeah, now he wants to know what's in the crate.
All right. Silas, what are you doing as you're surveying the heated gesticulations between Ro and the other Knoll, and Narath and Ashtorium lugging the warrior, the other other crewmates disappearing behind a
Why are we
false
keeping
wall?
this warrior?
You guys are just collecting
Narath wants
NPCs,
to-
dude.
This is so silly.
Dude,
Yeah.
we're gonna add him to the party, dude. Don't question it.
Dude, how are we gonna dress like?
I'm pretty sure as soon as he wakes up, he's going to go into a blood rage and try to kill everyone again, but
Yeah, he's gonna wake up and we're gonna be like, "Hey, bro, you're part of the group now." And if he disagrees, and then we beat him till he's unconscious, and we try again later.
Yeah.
Wait, are we talking about the Blue Draconin?
Yeah.
yes.
This is
No,
gonna be
Narath's gonna torture him for information and then kill him and probably kill himself after.
Yeah, okay, we get it, Mr. Edgelord. Calm down. Goodness gracious. I'm gonna torture him. Booga booga. Ah.
On a serious note, hearing the exchange. Well, did Silas understand any of the exchange that happened between Ro and the guy?
No, they're all
No.
It's in Knoll language.
Yeah, he even tried to speak to him in common, and he was like, "No, you need to speak our language."
In which case, I'm just gonna observe his body language. Does anything seem off about this exchange?
Ro seems a bit confused, and the Knoll seems very self-assured, but there's nothing about it that immediately tells you that there's like anything going wrong in negotiations, or any hostilities being exchanged, or anything like that.
In which case, I'll say to Ro, it seems odd that they would keep one of your kind locked up here. Should we try to bring him with us?
I will ask him about this. Ro turns to Fentis and he says, "Fentis, how did you come to be with these dwarves, and do you wish to remain here?"
Yeah, he's staying alive forever.
Well, yeah, I mean, I figured, but, we might as well ask him.
Well, you see, I'm hoping to live forever. So, it is safe to say that I will be with this drunken lot for some time. And once I have secured everlasting life, I shall go back to the wastes from whence I came.
Why would you want to live forever? That sounds like shit.
Well, especially if it's like an emaciated. Yeah, I don't know. I understand, Fentis. If that is what you wish, then we shall leave you here. But understand that I came far from the wastes, so that I may honor my ancestors and take and avenge them for a great wrongdoing.
I can see the scars of their sacrifices. They are written upon you, bro. Oh, no, he doesn't know your name yet. He's just going to say,
Yeah.
brother. You'll note that, you will know that at least in your clan, your gang, the, Gnolls did not call each other brother. So this Gnoll is speaking very weirdly, even though it's in Gogrish.
He's a paladin.
You called me brother. I don't remember this being a custom of our people.
Well, I suppose you could not be my literal brother. I mean, just look at our mangy fur. It's all different color. But still, you are the closest to a brother I could have this far north.
This is true. We may be the only two of our kind in this entire city.
Oh, well, that is where you are wrong. Not brother. You will find more of us if you go west.
Really? You should tell me, where are these gnolls that I may find them?
Do you have a map?
Does Ro have a map? I doubt Ro has a map.
I don't think Ro would be able to read the map.
Yeah.
I guess
So
he'd be
he's
able to
gonna
like
turn to the rest of
orient
the group.
himself, yeah, but
Yeah. So Ro's going to turn to the rest of the group and say, do any of you have a map?
Javai
And
has a
common this
map,
time.
but he's not offering.
he's all the way
He's
on
not
the
gonna
other
offer.
He's too busy trying to leave.
What's
So
in
does
the
anyone
box?
respond?
No, Darks doesn't have a map of this area.
I would imagine Ashtorium has a map, but whether or not he wants to offer while his
Yeah.
prime directive is carry body, I don't know.
Yeah, Blink and Ashtorium would have maps. I would imagine Silas and Narath would also have gotten them.
Yeah, at least there would be one map between them, probably.
Yeah. So. Oh no, somebody's echoing. Oh, shame.
If
If you want to add it to my
he will
inventory,
provide a map.
Oh, that's because I don't put maps there. I put it in the journal thing.
The journal. So is anyone going to hand me a map?
Did he ask in common?
Yes. Why would he
Narath
ask?
will volunteer. What?
There's only two languages Ro
Yeah,
knows.
why would he ask you in his language?
He was asking everybody in the party. I don't think Shambler was here for the last like 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Then.
Yeah, his
I
speakers
was
went out.
watching the stream while I was finding snacks.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. He
I
had to
have a
leave. his
brownie
computer.
and milk that's older than time, but we'll see if it kills me.
Well, good luck, my friend.
It tastes good.
Did Silas want to give a map or no?
Arath will give a map.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then Ro will
Beat
take
you
the
to
map.
it.
Got him.
It's
There
in
you go.
Draconic.
Yeah, very helpful. Anyway, whoever hands me a map, I will then hand it to Fentis.
So your Knoll brother, or not brother, as it were, gestures one sunken claw towards the like west of the area that indicates the Dalamask district where you currently reside. It's one district further in, between you and the border district that I don't actually know if Ro would be aware. I feel like he's kind of been around. but that would be the Sazarin district. And so
Okay.
he'll say, "There, they hold some of our not brothers in, well, despicable conditions. Far worse than being inside the cellar of a dwarven tavern."
It is even worse than this. That is very concerning. I would be interested to see these gnolls. Thank you for pointing out their location to me. I appreciate your help.
He nods and beams with a sort of pride at being able to help one of his kin, and he says, "Until I see you again, if I see."
I hope that our paths meet again, Fentus.
All right.
Ventus, not
Wait, my family's holding Knowles captive?
No, it was
No,
in a district
It's in
in
the
between.
district in between.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be on the way.
He almost sounded disappointed.
He's
We're gonna
I
set
want
the
a slave
gnolls
Gnoll.
free and bring them to Sazarin as accomplices.
All right. So,
On your
meanwhile,
birthday, you're
Darix
gonna
is
get a present.
continuing to pry open the crate.
Oh yeah, it's my birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, dude. Actually,
Happy
happy birthday to
birthday.
Three Crow. His birthday was yesterday.
Astorium didn't even say happy birthday.
Eh?
Yeah.
Happy birthday,
Happy
new crow.
belated birthday.
Reikian.
Reikian.
Right, Colin?
All
You
right.
get
So,
doxxed every time.
as
Yeah, so what's in a box?
as you pry open the box at long last, you find it to be full of paintings. There's a whole array of different art pieces. They seem rather well done, although they are of dwarves in, well, battle positions and clad in armor, and they almost look like portraits of some of the dwarves you may or may not have seen upstairs.
Is there any not of doors?
Nope.
Javai would like to walk away. He's gonna walk out and he's gonna look at Lidman and he's gonna say, "Can we go, please?"
Ready to admit defeat, huh?
If that is what will make you let us leave, yes, I am defeated.
The Harlot Slayer looks very mortified by this suggestion, and he turns to Ludman and he says, "Listen here, you lout. You have one chance to be useful to my lord. He is not one who is defeated." Ludman does not seem particularly impressed, but he moves past all of you, squeezing awkwardly between everybody, and then indicates to Darix to move the crate that he put in the corner.
Okay, well, he will do this.
Ludman takes a very confident stride towards the wall that he previously had apparently indicated, and as he does so, he once again pushes one hand towards the wall, as he did with the door, and says, "Now look here." To everybody's surprise, who can look, the wall seems to vanish, revealing some sort of cavern.
Before walking to the wall, Javai will whisper to Harlot Slayer and will say, whisper in Elvish, and he'll say, "You're right, Slayer. We will never be defeated."
The Slayer looks somewhat pleased and accepting of this.
Was it a cave? Epic?
Yeah, as you walk in, you'll notice that the floor is much more organic, earth and rock, stone, and the entrance to a cave.
I heard in the tavern, bearded one, that your kind have a sort of affinity for subterranean dwelling.
Ludman nods and then beams towards the tall, statured Darix and says, "You ain't seen nothing yet, pal." And he'll gesture towards the mouth of the cavern.
Javai will turn. Would there be another another name for the Sazarin district?
No, that's just what it's called because their army. It's like the if the elves were a bit more influential, they might have called it the Alara district,
okay.
right?
That makes sense. All right, and he's gonna say, "Okay, Ludman, I ask you to guide us to the Sazarin district if you can, or at least to the upper ground closest to the Sazarin district. Once we are there, it is a menial task."
Ludman nods and says, "It sounded like things were pretty bad upstairs, so I reckon this is where we'll meet any other dwarves that got away. They'll come this way, so they'll know how to get here, but we should cover our tracks before we leave. Maybe one of your louts can do that." A sober look has passed over his face, as if he's finally contending with the severity of the situation.
What does he mean by covering your tracks?
Not leaving an obvious,
Yeah,
broken thing.
put
that
cabinet back together, and then
yeah.
I mean, whoever goes last is gonna have to do that.
Javai will step into the doorway, in front of Ludman,
Mhm.
and he'll just kind of shout back. He'll say, "You heard the short man. Last one out closes the cabinet door." And he'll walk away.
Seemingly satisfied by this dictum from the clearly in charge elf, Ludman will take a few more strides further into the cavern.
Damn straight he's clearly in charge.
All right, what's going on still in here? I know Narath is trying to invoke Evina, but while that's happening, is anything else going on? It seems like Ro and Fentus have settled their business, and Harlot Slayer is obviously going to follow Javai, but...
I think at this point, Ro's gonna walk away since it seems Fentus wants to just kind of stay where he's at.
Indeed.
I assume Ashtorium's gonna follow Blink.
Ashtorium is helping the warrior transport.
Oh, that's right.
Burden.
That's right.
Did
So
Narath hear
I still have
anything
this
about the
fucking
dying
cage.
part?
No, they was all in Gogrish.
Yeah.
Right. You will look over the old thing and just move away.
Okay.
I'd like to have Slayer hold the cage.
Ah. He welcomes the opportunity to share in your burden or lighten your burden.
I am sworn
Yeah,
to
yeah.
carry your burden.
Ro's gonna turn back and he's gonna yell to Silas. Silas, are you coming?
He's dinner man.
He's dining. Ah.
I will follow shortly. Give me just a moment, bro.
Okay.
What's he doing?
And I will. I'll step out, and Silas will take a moment to try to listen carefully to see if there's any changes in the activity above.
It seems like things may have fallen quiet above for the most part. Occasional footfalls are there, heavier than before, perhaps indicative that greaves have been equipped. And there's also quite the crowd, judging by the number of footfalls. Though nothing is, there's no combat, no obvious signs of struggle. But the fact that none came to check on you does sort of weigh heavily upon you. Since you would have thought to have seen something, and the alarm still said, maximum danger and all that.
With this,
sorry, you can go.
With this in mind, as Silas comes back, he'll say just to Ro, because they're walking into the room together, there's a lot of activity up top. Heavy footsteps. I don't trust it.
Given that the alarm system was still showing maximum danger, I think we can assume that it's probably not friendly.
Indeed. We should be on our guard. We do not know what awaits us beyond this place.
Hopefully, they won't know to follow us through this secret passage.
All
We
right.
can hope.
With the party gathered, is there anybody want to say or do anything final before the party moves through the secret passage?
One of them has to close up behind us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We can say that
Ro-
Silas or Ro did that on their way out.
Right.
That's fine.
Okay.
I would just like to laugh out of character that the fact that the last, this since we got down here, it's just been upstairs neighbor simulator.
Yeah. All right.
Narath is ready to go to the passage if Avina doesn't speak.
Yeah, if you
Is there a
haven't
roll I
been...
can make to see why I'm cackling out loud and not in my head? Like an Arcana.
You could
roll?
just do an insight roll if you want.
Don't be shy.
That's
Fuck.
right. You're not sure. Narath, can you also give me an insight check? It's straight. Your attempts to make contact with Avina were not successful, though at this point you surmise that there's something going on, as you heard a much deeper voice than is normal for Darix come out of his mouth, and strange effervescent cackling coming out of Blink's mouth, although maybe that's just Blink. The Darix one, though, is incontrovertible. He does not talk in voices that are not his
I
own.
mean, Darius has a deep voice, but not that.
Yeah.
Not that. And he sounds young. So.
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah, I can use this to just make you guys really confused. I can just talk to Slinter and have him respond to me out loud. That's based.
All right.
Schizophrenic.
So, as you guys are gearing up to make your way through the passage, if you guys want to, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. If you guys want to discuss who's going in what order, how people are making it through, the passageway is only wide enough for one person at a time, and it's pretty tight squeeze for you tall guys because it's made for dwarves and half-smiths.
Right.
So, you guys are going to be able to make it through there, but it's going to be awkward, claustrophobic. You guys are going to have very limited movement. Yep. So, and you're not going to be able to be like, swinging weapons in the middle of that transport, right? So, factor that in whilst we consider, and also just think about like who's going in at what order. Are you having Ludman or the Slayer take the lead, or bring up the rear, or figure out like what the orientation of the party is when it comes to the assortment and how the formation of it. So if you guys want to discuss that,
I think it makes sense for Ludman to be in front.
Yeah, so I think it would be Ludman, like at least leading the pack. I don't know what behind would look like. I think it would be Ludman, Javai, then probably Slayer would want to stay with Javai, and then I imagine in some order, Astorium and Narath, since they're carrying the body, they probably don't want to be in the back.
Yeah, they don't want to be in the back or the front. They want to be in the middle.
Yeah, because we would just lose them. And then, but Darek should also probably be in the middle since he is the egg.
Yep.
And then I imagine like Silas and Ro in whatever order would be in the back.
I'd probably put Ro in. Ro will probably be in the very back. He has the bite attack, so if somebody comes up behind us, he's going to have an easier time doing that than somebody trying to swing their weapon.
Yeah, I figure it's that, or the reason why Javai should be around the front is just because I have a dagger. Like I don't have to swing it; I can just essentially push it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, so you have less of a issue attacking.
Yeah. So I think it would be Ludman, Javai, Slayer, Narath, Ashtorium, Darix, or it could be Darix, Narath, Ashtorium, Silas, Ro.
Yeah, that sounds
one hell of a conga line.
Yeah, we have so many characters.
Nightmare blunt rotation.
Imagine someone like uses an attack that just hits everyone in a line.
Yeah, one dragon's breath, it's just over.
Yeah, everyone's dead.
I'll BRB.
Yeah, Dark's is probably definitely in the middle. He's got the most important cargo, and his life matters the most. So, sad but true. Oh, I'm so hungry.
I have achieved vitamins.
Good job, bud. I'm proud of you.
I will not be deficient.
We're all deficient in some way. Some mental, some physical. Some
Ro can't read, so you know.
some more than others spiritual.
That's right. Narath, I'm looking at you.
I'm not deficient. Narath is a wise old man, except he's
He's
not wise.
definitely not. He's old. He's old. I mean, that part is true.
He's a wise, brave man.
He's not wise, but he is old and he is brave.
That's
All
all
right.
you need sometimes.
I have
That's all you
returned.
need.
He has returned from his pee-pee break.
Yo,
Everybody here?
I'm
Right
here.
here.
I'm
If
3.
you aren't here, say so.
That's my favorite. All right, did we decide on a formation?
Yeah, I believe
Harlot
so.
and Blink, Ashtorium, me, and Warrior. Well, Ludman in front because he's the guide.
Okay.
And Darax, and then Silas and Ro.
With Ro being the last one.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you for that one more time after I configure it, just so I know what's going on.
Okay,
So-
let me. I'll go through it. So, in the front is Ludman.
Yep. Hold on one second. I have to port those homies.
Okay.
This. Oh, of course. Foundry. I select multiple tokens. It's like I think you only wanted to grab one of those.
Exactly.
Okay. And then I gotta put his. Oh, okay. So Ludman's in the front.
Yep. So it's Ludman, then Blink as Javai.
Yep.
Then the Harlot Slayer.
Okay.
Then it's going to be Darks.
Okay.
Then it's going to be Narath and Ashtorium carrying the Warrior.
Right. And then Silas and then Ro?
Yep.
Okay. Sounds good to me. All right. So there's going to be a point partway through this journey through the cavern where the terrain will, the light will all basically fade, and you guys will basically be navigating via like very low light. Obviously, Ro is going to be able to see plainly.
No.
Oh, okay. Ro is going to be able to see plainly that that there's no immediate threats, but the dimming light will definitely be a bit antagonizing for some. Ludman will move to light a torch, but before he can do that, Silas seems to be casting a spell. So who are you putting the light on, my friend? Where are you doing that? If you're there, you casted the spell and then you vanish.
I'm back.
Well, it looks like it's touch, so it's basically either Ro or whoever's
Ashtorium would be
the warrior.
behind. Yeah,
So Ashtorium. Yeah.
or it's you, or it's himself
Yeah.
rather. Yeah, it looks like he's
Or
no. We
it's-
cannot
yeah.
hear you. So maybe
You
your hardware
are-
muted.
You are the silenced.
Dude, cheese is so good.
I had some cheese earlier. Also,
Oh man,
there's
y'all mean to me.
there's some Irish bread that I want to put peanut butter on real bad, but I'll have to wait for that.
Yeah, sounds so good.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. I've been having some super autistic hardware issues with my microphone for the last 2 days.
Awesome.
Anyway,
It's like me last session.
so as things start to get really dark and people can't see, Silas will speak up to the group and he'll say, "Anyone who needs a light, come forth, and I shall bestow one upon a piece of your equipment."
Okay.
Well, we're only single file, so I don't think anyone can just.
Yeah, the people you can reach with ease are yourself, Ro, and Ashtorium right now. So.
Well, does anyone of those people come forth?
Well, Bro can see in the dark, so.
Yeah, Ashtorium, do you want a light? Need a light? Ahmed?
Yeah, Ashtrain will take the light since he
All right,
can't
I'll-
use a torch.
I'll reach out to you, Ashtorium, and I will touch the mala around your neck, and I will cast light upon it, and it will become lit.
It will become radiant with magical blue light.
Yo.
And then I'll do the same to the tip of my spear, and I'll carry it as though it's a torch.
Okay. Give me one moment here. 20-foot radius. And dim for an addition. Okay.
And it will be, because I can color it, it will be a white light.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. That seems good. I will configure it for both of you. Okay. Give me one moment.
Cave time, cave time, cave time.
Okay. Sorry about that. When the crosswind comes in, I get annihilated.
I
So
didn't pass the saving throw.
you are now lit. All right. So we have that all happening as we progress through. With the light now emanating from Ashtorium's mala and Silas's spear tip, you'll hear a sigh of like relief coming from the front of the pack as Ludman says, "Many thanks. Now I can barely see."
Hearing this, Javi will pull out a torch.
Oh, okay. Let me just do that. Okay, so with that, we have 3 sources of light happening in here. That's 3.
Gotta be
Skippy.
3.
Dude, I wish dark vision worked like night vision, or if there's too much light, you just can't see.
Yeah.
For kobolds, it does. And drow.
Yep.
Yeah, it would have been really funny if Ro was just severely blinded by this.
It wouldn't make sense because gnolls actually hang out on the surface, but you know.
No, yeah. Just, it would have been a good bit.
All right.
Like, oh, I saw just fine until you lit all these things up. What did you do that?
Yeah. So, as all of you are, walking, the Harlot Slayer will pipe up and say, "Master, why have you lit a torch?"
Oh, because you're supposed to be able to use magic.
Javi with a chuckle, and he'll say, "Oh, Slayer, I'm simply handing it to Ludman." And I'll hand it to Ludman.
Ludman takes hold of it, and like you see him like fighting some kind of angry expression on his face, and then he says, "Blast it," and keeps walking.
Can't handle elves being nice to him and helping him.
All right.
He's just an idiot, I think.
Well,
I don't think that has anything to do with the elves.
There's another little bit of time here where you'll all be trudging along in very uncomfortable conditions, especially the tall ones, the Draconin and the and Ro. I suppose for Narath, who's hefting another Draconin with the help of Ashtorium, you'll naturally be bent over a bit. But for Darix and Ro, it'll be definitely a tight squeeze. It's almost feels like it's getting smaller as you get closer towards what you presume to be your destination. It's a bit hard to see at first, but the closer you all move towards an exit in the cavern, at least you surmise that must be what it is, as a turquoise light shimmers faintly and almost beckoning the party further forward. It'll be some moments before you can reach it, but at this point you've already noticed the strange sort of the odd, eerie quiet of the cavern start to, replace the sound of shuffling and footfalls.
Blink will pull out his dagger as he approaches. Or as I assume we continue to move forward because we can't really go anywhere else.
Yeah, unless you want to start turning around, yeah.
Nor burrow through the earth.
Burrow time?
Burrow time.
I knew we'd get there eventually.
I miss Harry.
All right, so as you all continue walking forward, there is going to be the opening, if you will, of the opening of the cavern at the end will spread a little bit wider, shine a little bit more light in, and you're now, say, moments before you arrive at the mouth of this cavern, and in a sudden jolt, Ludman will stand straight and move to extinguish his torch in a relatively like a very suddenly snap decision and movement. As he does so, he's going to shout out and say, "Hold!"
We hold.
Well,
Yeah, we don't really have a choice.
Yeah. Unless you want to push Ludman out of the way, I guess.
All right, so
did I see anything that would make him say that, or?
From your perspective, it doesn't seem like anything has changed other than the fact that the light is more immediately visible.
I see. Also, there are cave sounds now.
Indeed. All
This
right.
cave has a lot of wind in it.
It also has drips and drops.
That's true. I expect that of a cave, though.
And drip drops.
And drip drops. Ludman, after freezing for a moment, will turn his head back to, just kind of crane his neck back behind him to face down the rest of the party, and he'll call out, "Abandon your damn lights! There's something out there."
Oh, Balrog?
Rose should have been at the front. That was a mistake.
Well, is what it is now.
You win some, you lose some.
We abandon our light.
Do they abandon the light? That's Silas's call.
Are they requesting to put out the lights?
Yeah, that's what
That is what
Ludman just said.
Yeah.
Does everybody agree with Ludman, or is it just Ludman?
Javai would
That is
also
a good
agree.
question. Okay.
But also, Javai doesn't have a light, so it doesn't really matter what Javai says in this case.
Ro Ro doesn't really care either way, since he sees equally well regardless.
I understand some of us may be able to see without the light, but what is the consensus? Should I put out the spell or not?
If Ludman believes that it will aid us, then I suppose we should.
Oh, it sounds like nobody with a light is going to speak up, so I will put out the spell.
That's just at you and Ashtorium, so yeah.
Well, Ashtorium can't do anything about the light, so...
Yeah,
Oh,
but he's asking, do you want the light out or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, just turn it out. Listen to the dwarf.
Alright.
Dwarves know what they're doing.
Silas snaps a finger, and suddenly you can only see if you have dark eyes.
So only Ro.
That is correct.
By the way, if you want some really good ambiance for like darker settings or whatever, you should try some of the music from Thief the Dark Project. Yeah, it's got a really amazing soundtrack.
You should write it for me so I can check it out
Yeah,
later.
well, I will do that. Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right. Ludman is now going to slowly move with the lights out. The only light is a pale turquoise that shimmers through all of basically through the cavern opening. And you'll all watch as Ludman begins to move further away, 5 feet, then 10, eventually exiting the cavern proper. And though he's going to raise at one big dwarven hand to shield his eyes from whatever light source is gazing upon him, and he's going to look to the left, then to the right, and then, with a huff, he'll drop his hand and turn back to motion towards Blink.
Can Blink even see him?
It'll be like a silhouette behind the source of the light.
Okay.
So he's motioning towards me?
Yeah, for you to come forward.
Alright, I'll move forward.
Okay.
Oh. This is so dumb.
What?
What's dumb?
I can see what's in the cavern.
How can you see what's in the cavern? I can't see anything.
I also can't see
I went forward.
Yeah.
I never looked in the
and it's gone. I think that was
Yep.
I wasn't supposed to see that.
I hope it's more chickens.
Yeah.
It's something.
That looks like
If what I saw is true and wasn't just a doodad.
I hope it's a giant fucking chicken.
That would be hilarious. Drumsticks for dinner, boys.
Are we supposed to be loaded into a new map?
No, just Blink, because he's the one who's walked forward. I'm having a quick technical issue, though. I'm trying to figure out.
I see, okay.
Yeah. It does not really compute to me how Blink can see.
I think this. I don't know.
No,
Actually.
it's angular light, and it's only in one
Yeah.
direction, so that doesn't
I don't
really
know.
make
It's
sense.
very odd. I'll act like he can't, but yeah, I don't know why the map.
It says illuminated spaces within its line of sight, and okay. Well, that
Is it the silly like torchlight in the back or something?
no, it's because for some reason, like, tokens are configured to be able to see 60 feet without any light by default. I don't know why.
That is very silly.
Okay.
All right. Well, I don't think I can see anything, but it's kind of hard to tell now. But whatever.
Yeah, it's here. I'll reset the fog, and you'll be able to.
There we go. All right. That looks about right.
Okay, so With that being said, you come out into a cave behind Ludman. There's definitely no immediate sign of dwarven, like, cutlery or artistry or masonry, but Ludman is very adamant, has like an expression of like stark concern upon his face, but still like set on the plan, and he says, "You can call the others out, but we can't move from this light. You understand?"
Yes, Ludman, I suppose I do. And with that, he'll turn back from where he came from, and he'll say, "Let's go."
And the Slayer was right behind you, if I remember correctly. So he will be the first one to step forward into the light, followed by Darix, who, seems actually to be configured correctly. Shocker.
What? I ain't done nothing. I'm just here.
Exactly. All right.
Oh! 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 Why am I last?
You're not last. You're last of the first unit. Yeah, there's more coming behind you.
Oh, okay.
The Harlot Slayer will step out as if to flank Javai and be in front of him, and he will say, "Master, what is the plan?"
I can't move. I'm stuck. Oh, I'm not stuck. Free.
So he said, "Master, is the plan?"
That's right.
It seems Ludman here is saying we have to stay in this light, so I suppose we are staying in this light until further notice.
Bearded one, what do you see? What's up ahead?
It's not what I see, but what I don't see, that's the problem. The dwarf's supposed to be here to greet us, and you know what we get instead?
And he steps to the side, revealing a grim sight indeed.
This is like the Mines of Moria! Soy-Jack! Soy-Jack! I'm just kidding.
Is this definitely like a dwarf skeleton?
Yep.
How long is it?
How recent is it? Yeah.
Yeah, how long?
If you want to do an investigation check, but it's looking pretty old right about now.
I do not understand this.
I will not roll anything higher than a 10 unless it's an attack roll, so you guys are fine.
It looks old. When was the last time this tunnel was used?
Ludman will kind of shrug at you and say,
"I'm told we use it reliably, frequently. The age of the skull and such don't matter none. What matters is, there's no one alive to see us. If we step out of this light, the spirits will be after us."
Well, pray tell, how do you suppose we move?
I'm going to bring everybody else in real quick. Although you guys will start off a little bit stuck. Because there's not that much room here. Here, I guess I'll move the warrior down and Silas can come this way.
Nice.
Okay.
So is the light fixed on like a...
So as you guys all come out and spill out of the cavern mouth, joyous and enjoying the moment of physical freedom that you have now earned instead of being cooped up in a smaller passageway than is meant for any of your kind. The first thing you'll notice is, of course, the skeletal remains of a dwarf, and it seems to be reaching towards the sort of lantern of sorts, this ebony construction that scintillates with the turquoise light that emanates from it, and that seems to be placed firmly in the ground, not on the wall.
So, like, it would take some fighting, but someone could probably carry it.
You'd have to dig it up first, but you might be able to do that.
All right, so Javai's gonna, look at the light and he's gonna look at Lidman. He's gonna say, "Well, if you don't have a plan to keep us moving forward, I don't see a reason why we can't just dig it up and move it, bring it with us."
He's gonna have his eyes go wide at that suggestion, and he'll say, "No. That's not what we can do with these. What happens if other dwarves folk come? Then they'll be spirited away."
Spirited away? By what? By the way, when I asked that, I am going to use, what is it? Divine Scent?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Divine Scent. Boop! Oh!
Hell yeah. Alright, so you've gone for that. And there's going to be a surge of divine sense-making. Sort of, it's like as if you had your nose blocked for a very long time, or couldn't fully expand your lungs, and you can breathe fully again to fully take in the surroundings. The cavern is most foreboding in many respects, but there is something about it that will immediately be making itself known to you. And that's that it seems there are presences within here that are wholly good in nature. Yet, to find them in a foreboding place such as this would certainly strike you as odd.
I don't sense evil?
That's right.
Well, Darks is going to look both confused and very relieved by this revelation. If anyone's looking at his face, they'll be able to tell that.
Mm-hmm.
He'll relay this information to the dwarf and the rest of the party.
All right, well, Ludman will respond, but I'll leave time for other people too. If anybody would like to have a thing to say regarding Darix's revelation.
Well, not all spirits are evil, I suppose.
Regardless of what lies ahead, we should be cautious.
Ludman will give you a stiff nod, Darix, and say,
"I never said that they were evil spirits. They're members of our kin. We brought them from Kernia's shore all the way here. And now we build a new Kernia. But this..."
and he gestures again to the skeletal remains,
"this does not bode well."
Javai, thinking he has maybe put it together, but he probably hasn't. Just trying to get it moving. He's gonna say, "So, my assumption would be that this man, this dwarf, would guide people through the caverns with the lantern, and then he would come back and wait for others. Is that right?"
Less of a guide, more of a decision maker.
He'll look towards the cavern that you all came from, and he'll gesture towards it. You'll quickly realize he's not pointing at you, but any of you, but at the mouth of the cavern instead.
You see that? It's not your average ordinary cavern. You'll find plenty of entrances look just like it. But each one will take you someplace different. And that place ain't necessarily the same place. So, what we need to do is figure out where the cavern wants us going.
Ludman, for what it's worth, it seems like... Well, today has been a day of callings for many, it would seem. And with that, as he says that, he'll look around the party, and then he'll look back to Ludman and he'll say, and maybe it is time for you to take up this mantle.
Aye.
Or me?
None. Of course, none. We are not dwarfs. We do not understand your ways or how to appease your spirits or find out what the cavern wishes of us. We cannot simply stand here for eternity.
No, I wouldn't suggest as such. I just thought maybe
Maybe.
this would be a decision made by someone more responsible.
And he looks down longingly towards the skeleton.
Well, there is one thing. I have a connection to spirits. Maybe I could reach out to them.
Yeah, Darks will shake his head. No, this is clearly a task for the Bearded One. It seems that Astramus has put him here in this position so that he could learn something, do something.
Well, if the dwarf wishes, then he can take up the mantle of leader for now.
Ludman will look very like this. The weight of responsibility is heavy upon him, and he will say,
Just one thing, alright? I'm not saying that we're gonna get killed or anything. But if we do... No, if we get injured, but still very much alive, I will take responsibility, but I still won't really know if it's my fault, you know what I mean?
Javai, sensing that this is all very close to the answer he needs, he's going to step forward and place a hand on his shorter shoulder, and he will say, Ludman, I would not worry about assigning blame if that happens. I just know, at the end of this all, each of us will owe you a drink or two.
Oh. No wonder I don't feel well. I haven't had a drink in hours. Alright, you've convinced me.
Darks will smile. He kind of likes this short, hairy man.
the dwarf will take a moment to sort of gaze faintly into the north, and then look generally in the southern direction, and he'll say, after attuning his senses and thoroughly thinking about what he must do next, Ludman will say,
Right. Well, water drips coming from the southeast. Then this passageway, and he shoves a sausage finger towards the north. I think I can see a faint bit of light just round the bend.
turning back to the party, he'll say,
I never did leave the embrace of these lights when down here before. I don't know what happens when we step out of them. I just know that I was always instructed to stay in the light. We might have to reactivate some of the lanterns if we come across any.
And we should not use our torches.
Well, I just thought we wouldn't want to attract attention. Maybe it's still safe.
He seems very unsure about this.
But if will light attract, will it displease your spirits? I sense no evil in them. Would this simply disturb their rest?
I'll tell you the truth, Scally One. It's all a bit over my head.
That's kind of what I figured.
Darks will nod his head. He that's fine with him. That's a fine response. But he feels that since nothing evil is here, that if necessary, he will light his torch.
Okay.
All right, Darks will nod, everybody. I do think it best if at this time we simply chain ourselves together, if you will. Hand on everyone's shoulders and follow behind Bearded.
I can see in the dark, so wherever you'd like to place me in the group so that I may be able to help navigate.
Go with Ludman. Help. He may use you. Would seem the best use of your ability.
Okay. Ro's gonna try to push past Narath and can I actually move?
You're stuck, but I can put you here. There you go.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And so Ro will walk up behind Ludman.
You can easily see over him. Easily.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, so let's all, kind of grab onto each other and follow Ludman in the knoll.
Alrighty.
It seems to be the wisest course of action.
Okay, so the Ludman appears to be still like uncertain of where to move exactly, but he starts off by heading in towards the south, so he'll be like this.
Okay.
So as he does so with Ro behind him, he'll be kind of like at first sort of like he'll move a little bit too far away and towards the wall, but as Ro will see, he's just about to like not faceplant because he's kind of like feeling around with his hands, but he makes contact with the wall and he says,
"Oh, no, this way,"
under his breath.
I see more skeletons as well as one of those lanterns up ahead, but the lantern is not lit.
Oh, perfect. You just need to point me in the direction. I should be able to get it back.
If you keep feeling along the wall, you'll eventually reach the lantern. I hope people are following me. Otherwise, they will get lost.
Yeah.
No, we can't see you.
They went south. You'll have to be like south. Within one tile to reveal. You should be able to see him if you're. Oh, maybe not. Hold on.
Oh. Astorium is just running ahead.
Oh, Astorium, he's gone. See ya.
Yep. He's bolting down the cave.
Hold on. I have to give everybody 5 feet of vision. I forgot to do that. I thought that was already a default thing, but apparently not.
Yeah, well, so is seeing 60 feet in dark rooms, apparently. So.
Yeah.
But only for me.
Alright.
Dude, I had dark vision. Why do we take it away from me?
First, Ludman's gonna feel like the bones of one of the fallen dwarves, and he'll say...
Yeah, he's gonna step over him.
Yeah, he's gonna say, oh,
not the lantern.
Nope, you have not reached the lantern yet. But you are probably about 5 feet from it.
I'm back. I apologize. What did I miss?
Ludman started moving south.
Yep.
Oh, south.
And I'm walking him through how to get to the lantern right now.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I basically got a hand on Ro's shoulder.
There you go.
All right. So, Blink, as you get very close to the cavernous entrance directly on your square, there will be this strange emanation of like a howling of wind that fades into what you feel like must be some kind of audible spoken word. Yet if it is that and not just an illusion of the wind, it is in a language you do not recognize.
Can I tell, like, where is it coming from? Any distinct direction? Just ahead?
Inside the cavern that you're on the square of. There's
I
a
didn't
cavern
see the
mouth
cavern.
right there.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Javai's going to turn to Slayer and say, or I guess I'll turn to Slayer and Ludman, because Ludman's right there, and he'll say, I hear something. And then he will go inside the cavern mouth. Or he'll start to move, and he'll see if anyone else says anything.
Well, Ludman is fumbling around with the lantern, and there's a sudden like jolt that springs to life as the light immediately beams towards the cavern entrance, and the sound and whispers fall quiet. Then Ludman, proud of himself, will turn towards the rest of the group, but notice Javai leaving and say, "Don't go in there."
With like a shock, he'll kind of, stop moving, and he'll step out and he'll say, that's funny. I no longer hear anything.
Oh, you were listening to the spirits. It's tempting, whatever they say, so tempting. But never follow them in.
Well, I couldn't understand them, so I'll just not listen to them any longer.
Free of temptation, what it would be.
And now Ludman will start moving towards the torch light that seems to be coming from further in the group.
I assume I don't need to give people directions in this area?
Not in this light. Yeah.
There's a pond.
That skeleton's skull appears to glow.
Poor bastard, someone lit him up after he was already dead. But this is good news. It means there's another dwarf in here. Or someone who can do that.
And he'll eye Silas suspiciously.
Is it possible we could carry the head with us? Or is that a bad idea?
I think it must have been done deliberately like this. Tell anyone who's still out there that maybe safety is this way. Probably best to keep it in case another dwarf come looking.
Makes sense. We should probably continue onward. Although, I see Javai is interested in that pool.
Ludman will take some short strides towards the pool, while Javai, you behold two corpses that seemed to have been moving towards the waters as they perished, and a lantern embedded into the crust of the stone along the wall, shining in the direction of the cave.
While understanding that he probably doesn't want to go in the cave if the lantern's shining towards it, given the last one. He's just gonna regard the pool until just kind of mentally think to himself, what the hell is going on today?
As you regard the pool, the water seems to stir.
Is this before I walk away from it?
Yeah. It's like as you're like looking at it and thinking about stuff, right? So it's like as that's happening.
Javai, has anyone told you you're like a cat?
Cats are glorious creatures, remarks the Harlot Slayer.
Dark snorts. They have no loyalty and they wander off, disappear. Obnoxious, smelly creatures.
Smelly they may be, but only when not kept well. And disloyal they may be. Well, I can't argue with that.
Darks will nod his head with a assured smile. And then he's going to put his claw on the back of Blink's shoulder and like shake him. Come on.
As you do that, Darix, there's a sudden, like, the sound of, like, maybe some kind of soft landing behind you. And the Harlot Slayer, still holding the chicken coop, is suddenly holding a full chicken coop.
Oh, not more chickens.
Was it the shaking or was it the chicken that stirred Blink? You will never know. Blink will turn around regarding the chicken, and he will offer to take the cage from Harlot Slayer. Well, not really offer, but it'll look like an offer.
Well, the Harlot Slayer will of course oblige and say, "The magical chicken speaks to my master."
He sure does, Slayer.
Then Darks will remark, magical dinner.
The chicken will look mildly concerned and then walk at Blink.
Hush, now, Darks. I must convene. And he will bring the chicken to eye level and look to the chicken expectantly.
I have never seen any creature look so expectantly upon their morsel before.
The chicken is going to once again, but will sort of like be waving one wing in the direction of the pond.
Does the chicken wish us to
the pond.
Go to the pond?
He will bring the chicken to the pond.
Dark's yelling no.
No. Dark grabs him by the arm. No, we are not. We are not here to ascertain the curiosity of a chicken. We are here to leave the cavern.
Ludman, do you know anything of this pool?
Of course. It's one of the pools that the spirits can appear at, but I thought no matter of it because the lantern's on. The chicken seems most interested.
Yes, well, who cares what the chicken is interested in? We must continue.
Dark, you said yourself these spirits are nice and holy. Allow the chicken some fun in the water. And he will...
it is a chicken!
I feel like if you enter the water, you will end up being pulled away by a spirit.
Do you not see two repose dwarves next to the pond? This is what they call a warning. You fool. Come.
Looking to Darks, he is going to look to the chicken and say, "And what do you wish, poultry?"
Without even being able to respond to such an offensive characterization of the chicken's person, any would-be balk in response is cut short by the sudden turning of the water. And to the surprise of Ro, Darix, probably the Harlot Slayer, maybe even the chicken, and definitely Blink, a familiar visage will appear, emerging from the lake, the small pond. Though, as if the water had never touched her form, she seems dry, as if she were on land. You recognize her from the tavern, the performer. And she'll say, "Oh, little one, I see you've led them right to me." And then looking to Blink, "I thank you for retrieving one of my children. It was most important. Without them, I would no longer be Mother Hen.
Yes, you are the mother hen I have heard of. I do not know why these chickens made it such an effort to talk to me last night, but I assume you may have something to have done with that.
My children can be most excitable, and they have a sense of humor about them, but the important thing is that you were made aware of their significance, and thus made aware of me. In that they have accomplished what I had set them out to do, and, albeit in a roundabout way, even assisted in bringing us together.
Pray tell, how does a human become mother to hen?
Well, I am half a dwarf.
Dark just looks way more confused.
As if that's an answer.
His like snout scrunches up, and it's like eye ridges raising lower. He just shakes his head, just like, whatever.
Ludman immediately steps forward at hearing this and says, "Half a dwarf, oh, Arame!" And he kind of like tries to neaten up his hair a little bit.
Javai, Blink, understanding the pure importance of this meeting, is going to say, "And what would you have me do? Mother hen." He doesn't quite like saying mother hen. It feels a little silly.
It is, it's just very silly.
Arame will take one stride towards you, Blink, and you'll basically feel like the Harlot Slayer bristle at this, and like as if he's like not pleased.
Coming at the mouth, yelling harlot.
No, he's containing himself, but he's concerned for the well-being of his master. And Arame will sort of look directly into your eyes, and as she speaks, you'll notice a very familiar weaving pattern within her eyes as she says, "Young one, I must ask that you treasure yourself and take good care of what you carry. For you," and then she turns to Darix, but still speaking to Blink, "you and your party, your companions, you have stumbled into a cosmic crosshair. I would hate to see such good specimens, good men, fall by the wayside."
So I noticed the similar eye patterns. Reaching her eyes again, he'll kind of let his own eyes do the same, showing the understanding. And he'll say, "I believe I understand. And as for what I carry," to this he's thinking of Slinter, "I will take good care of both." And with both, he'll look to the chicken as well.
The chicken seems to be pleased with the exchange, but does not walk in response. Arame, on the other hand, will take one more step and gesture towards Ludman and say, "You have been being led by this one, have you not?"
Yes, it has seemed like a good time for him to find some responsibility. Glorious purpose.
There is much glory in that. Ludman will seem to be falling quiet, like he's doesn't know what to say, doesn't want to screw it up by saying more things, so he's just kind of sitting there or standing there silent, a little bit of stammers, but nothing else. And Arame will say, "So far, none of the Inquisition has reached the secret passageway, and I will endeavor to keep it as such. However, it must be known that the Keeper of the Crypt here is not too pleased with the current developments. There may need to be some appeasement before he is convinced of your righteousness."
Hmm. Darks will ask, is the crypt keeper a dwarf too?
She will give you a nod and say, "Oh yes, full dwarf, that one."
How does one appease a dwarf other than through copious amounts of alcohol?
Ludman will clear his throat, but not be able to muster any other response. And Arame will say, with a enchanting smile, "Well, what I can say is, though he has a harsh exterior, I would recommend appealing to his sociable nature. He rarely sees other folk. Conversation may do the job, though he may also have rather odd requests for you. A good start to catch his attention would be to see if you can illuminate more of the lanterns. Something has gone amok if there's a lack of illumination in this cavern."
Darks will nod his head. How did these dwarfs die, if this is supposed to be a safe place?
Arame will have a slightly somber look as she regards the dead, but she'll look back to Darix and, with a somber smile, will say, "Many of them fell in battle. Others died in the journey. They all hail from Kernia, in the south. These reposed warriors and dwarven brewmasters, they came here, or at least contributed to our survival, and so we honor them. The Crypt Keeper must be displeased if he has allowed the remains to wander off."
Wander off? Darks will look down at the skeleton in front of him and take a small step back.
At this point, Arame has turned her attention to the chicken and says some words in a language that none of you can understand. It appears to be a language even Ludman cannot understand. And the chicken walks softly before vanishing in a puff.
Well, there goes my idea of appeasing him with a meal.
Understanding that it is probably time they get moving, Javai will look back and say, "We should start moving forward." And then he'll look back to Arame and say, "A couple questions.
She looks to you expectantly.
Should I be expecting that chicken to return?"
"So long as you carry its familiar."
"Ah. Familiar. Okay. And another one. Do you know of what might be wrong with the one I carry?" And as he says that, he'll tap his head with his right hand.
She'll give you a much more somber look than she had given Darix earlier and say, "Age does things to ones of our kind."
I suppose a follow-up might be an answer. How old is he?
She'll kind of give you the expression is one where she's she wants to give you an answer, but she can't quite. It's wistful, and she says, "A question perhaps you might get an answer to if you ask him multiple times. I doubt even he knows."
Well, I hope the best for him. And for you. With that, me and my our party, will be moving, and if you do have a way to communicate with the chickens, you can let him know that he will not be eaten the next time he returns.
She looks like surprised and almost impressed and says, "Quite the promise."
Darks will not quite bow, like he's not, but he does bow his head, but not his body,
right,
toward her and thank her for venturing off to follow Ro.
Anyone who remains behind long enough to look at her, Ludman included, will watch her sort of give the party a nod of respect and then begin to sink back into the waters.
After she sinks, Blink will turn back to the where they're heading. He'll kind of like nudge Ludman as he goes by, I suppose, and then he'll turn back to Darix and I guess Ro, and he'll say, "And what was that about curiosity, Darix? I couldn't quite hear you finish your thought."
Yes, well, they have a saying where I am from. Something about curiosity killing the whelp.
The harlot will seemingly pay no heed to what Darix just said, and he'll say, "Master, I'm grateful you are all right. You are lucky she was not a harlot."
Responding first to Darix, he'll say, "We have something similar to that saying about cats, and I still seem plenty alive." And then he'll look to Slayer and he'll say, "I am lucky she was not a harlot, but I'm sure you would have had it handled if she was."
He seems slightly appeased by this, though he still has an air of consternation about him.
There appears to be a... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, there appears to be a lantern that is already lit up ahead, so... I believe you won't require my directions to reach it.
I can't believe Ludman likes a changeling.
So,
did anyone else see her eyes, or is that just me?
No, she
An
was...
old changeling.
Alright, Ludman is going to take a few steps forward as he tries to shake off that encounter, and he'll say,
"If we have to reactivate all the lanterns, this would be a problem, but I guess we'd have to see how many are on."
And he'll start moving in the direction. While he does that, though, I don't know if Silas and Arath have anything. They have been quiet.
One's dinner man, and the Wrath is sleep man.
Oh, did he pass out?
I'm going to assume because he
ate so many snacks and then he...
Yeah.
Yeah, the Rambler being quiet means that sleep has possessed him.
Yeah, but I feel like we can just say that Narath is just counting his blessings, that no one's prying about him working for a Dark Lord right now, and that we're focused on something else, and therefore does not want to speak up.
Yep. Probably wise.
He seems to only be wise when he's asleep.
Wisdom. Alright, let us continue on our wonderful journey out of this dark, strange place.
Is Three Crow also sleepy? Oh,
I'm here.
You're here. So
Are you sleepy?
I don't know if you need a recap of what just happened.
Give me a very quick refresh.
So, as you guys were approaching this little pond, Blink stepped forward to investigate it, and the water began to stir. And then the chicken reappeared inside the coop that the Harlot Slayer was carrying. And the chicken then was, the mother hen appeared, which is the performer from the tavern. And she spoke to the chicken, and Blink, and Darix, and Ludman, and all that, and basically gave you information about the fact that there's a crypt keeper who clearly isn't happy because he's allowed all of the spirits to roam, and she gestured towards the skeletons. And then she also said that you may have to appease him some before you are able to pass through. And that's basically where you guys left the cliff notes, anyway. The important stuff.
Okay, got it.
So you had like a... Not really a spectral visitor, but more like a... Fey visitor, I guess.
Okay. I have nothing immediate to add.
Okay. Well, with that, Ludman will begin to step confidently towards the next lantern, seemingly renewed by the conversation that has happened.
Yeah. You are doing a fine job, Bearded One.
Yeah, Ludman's doing good.
I know, he saw his crush and became the epic guy all in one day.
That's right. Main character.
Yeah, main character Ludman, baby.
Let's go.
As you guys round the bend, there's another round of various lanterns and lights. There's also plenty more skeletal remains and faint whispers and sounds emanate from the southeast. Ludman seems paused by them and is also just sort of surveying the place.
Is one of these lanterns lit and the other one isn't?
Yeah. The one to the left is lit and the one to the right is not.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So Blink will call back to Ludman and he'll say, Ludman, there's a lantern for you to light. Until just kind of point at the one on the right.
I see 2 more down another path as well.
Ludman is momentarily doesn't seem like he's responding to you guys for a moment, but then he kind of shakes his head and he says, "Over there's bad news," gesturing towards the direction Ro had indicated, to the southeast.
Makes sense. I see many of the dead, as well as a pack.
He'll take some strides towards where Blink had indicated, and looking upon the unlit lantern, he will start to move to reactivate it. The whispers seem quieter over here, though you get the sense that there's a general lack, like a staleness to the air, as if this particular area has not been breathed in for a very long time.
Yep.
As Ludman attempts to reactivate the lantern, there's a shifting to the southeast, sound of bones cracking.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
Ludman will poke his head up and he'll say,
"Might pass. Might."
Javai's dagger is drawn. Even though he still has a fucking cage in his left hand. I like to imagine that, like, as he walks there, just like feathers kind of floating about, like coming in and out of the cage and whatnot.
Ro, you're going to hear a sound of a footstep very firmly planted in the dirt and the stone. There's the secondary sound of metal dragging against stone.
It sounds like something's coming, and I think it's dragging its weapon across the stony cave floor.
Well, if we're gonna smite something, now's the time.
It'll be something visible only to you at first, Ro.
Oh, yeah. Exactly what I expected.
The stout silhouette sort of shuffles over this the entrance to the cave.
I saw it just then. I think it may be a corpse reanimated by one of the spirits.
Ludman will look up, his eyes like daggers, as he looks towards you, Ro, and he says,
That's no reanimated. That is one of the spirits.
The spirits could take physical form.
The only response you get is a huff as Ludman continues to struggle with the lantern.
I don't understand.
Is there any way, like, seemingly that I could assist Ludman?
Well, he's doing something that you may have seen him do. I guess you weren't looking. But he's doing it to Ro's eyes anyway. He'll be doing the same thing that he was doing before, and the lantern just seemingly will not respond.
He's trying to reactivate the lantern and it won't do it, basically.
All right. The shuffling draws closer, but not from the south. Suddenly, from the north. Just from where Blink was standing, the surly visage of a warhammer-wielding dwarf lumbers into view. Well, a once dwarf, anyway. The Harlot Slayer draws his saber immediately and moves to put himself between this corpse and Blink.
I do not understand. If they hold no wickedness in them, why are they acting this way?
Can Ro reach out to the spirit and try to, like, connect with it?
If you get a bit closer, you could go for let me take a look here. A religion check.
Okay.
I guess I could do that too?
Well, Ro's got the spirits in his head from being a blood knight, so...
Okay.
He's got that spiritual affinity.
Yeah, he's got a special connection.
You could roll a religion check just to sort of sense it, if you wanted to, Darix. Like, maybe you'll find information there.
Yo!
Alright.
No, I do not.
3.
That's a nat 1.
That
The
one,
dwarf doesn't like your scales.
I mean, no, just in this case, it would be like Darix has no knowledge of, like, dwarven anything.
Yeah.
Right.
The dwarves appear godless.
Which makes sense.
So, the spirit of that gives animus to the skeletal remains seems to commune back with you, Ro, as if it welcoming your communication. It seems similar to other spirits you've interacted with, incapable of speaking, but it can provide you with general emotions in response to queries. As you approach, for example, it seems perhaps a little bit wary, but optimistic and eager to make contact.
Spirit, I sense that you do not mean harm to us. Is that correct?
There's a sort of like a mild surprise followed by perhaps the sense of like almost embarrassment as the spirit drops its warhammer clattering to the ground. And then a slight apology.
Dark's just blinking, confused, but pretty happy.
It is okay, Spirit. We understand. Ro turns to the rest of the group. The spirits do not mean us harm, it seems. I don't think they realized walking up brandishing a weapon, how that might set us on edge.
As you say, the spirits do not mean us harm. There is like a warmness to that, but then almost like an air of like caution or something, like a but maybe.
Spirit, is there something we must do?
The spirit, the spirit kind of responds with a gratitude, sense of gratitude as you ask this question, and then it simply turns and begins walking deeper into the cave.
I think the spirit wishes for us to follow it, and given that it does not mean us harm, I think it is fine to do so. In fact, I would encourage it, as I think there's something we must do before they will allow us to leave.
At this, Ludman is going to let out a prolonged curse. At least it's in Dwarvish, so good luck trying to listen to it or translate it. But he's definitely upset. And as he gives up on working on the lantern, he says,
"We should not follow the spirits, especially if I can't get this lantern working. It's not me, as surprised as I am by that. You see, it's just not working properly. I don't know why. Damage or something."
Well, that spirit was able to stand directly within the other lantern's light, so I don't know that the lanterns will be effective from this point forward.
Well, if they're in that kind of form, and he gestures generally in the direction that the walking corpse had gone. Although if you guys look back towards that, you'll notice the Warhammer has also vanished. Ludman will say,
"Lanterns for when they're wandering as more ethereal creatures. And shouldn't be necessary anyway."
He'll cast a glance upwards towards the sort of stalactite-ridden ceiling of the place, and he'll say,
"If only there was someone who might be able to keep the spirits."
And then he kind of just trails off, muttering under his breath.
Well, today has been about helping spirits. These past 2 days. Why not? Ro, lead the way.
I will do so gladly.
Okay. So, all right, Ro, I am going to deposit you on the other side here in just a moment. I need to actually be able to use you. All right, now you can. Okay, Ro, you walk through towards the cave. You can already see a glimmering light on the other side, and yet as you approach the cavern, the mouth of the cavern, there's a disorienting feeling that overcomes you, and then when you appear again, you actually seem to be staring in the direction that it feels you just came from. Then
that is odd.
I'm assuming you're gonna reflexively check your surroundings, but you'll no longer sense Blink behind you. Instead, Blink, the similar feeling will overcome you as you step through the cavern.
Can I perception check what's going on here?
Yeah, what do I see around me?
You see a cavern. There's lanterns.
You can see nothing.
You're really struggling with these rolls today.
This is so bad today.
Oh, okay. Ro, directly behind you is a cavern that seems to lead exactly nowhere near where you came from. It would appear to go deeper into the cavern, and there's no light on the other side of it shining through. Meanwhile, the Blink, what you can sense so far is that there's a very claustrophobic alcove you found yourself in. There's glittering lights to the south indicating perhaps another lantern, but to get there you'd have to cross potentially less than lovely territory.
Hoping Ro just somehow managed to get farther ahead of him than he expected, he will just say very loudly, "Hello?"
That will certainly alert Ro to where you are, which is due east of his current position.
I'm unsure how we ended up separated like this. And Ro's gonna move towards him and place his hand on his shoulder and say, I'm here, Blink. It's fine.
Well, any spiritual word?
This seems to be some sort of trickery, I think. I exited in the opposite direction I had entered from. It's not how caves normally work.
I don't know if we are to assume that this trickery was mean in nature. I think maybe this is just how the cave is.
It could be.
Do I see that behind him?
Behind what?
Behind Ro, or is he just too big for me to see?
Oh,
Yeah, I just block off your entire vision.
no, yeah, you see there is indeed some kind of...
Blink will just point behind you. Although, in the distance, there is a friend of sorts, hopefully. And once you turn, you'll see he's pointing at a skeleton in the distance.
I will have words with this spirit. Ask him how we ended up separated and confused.
That's Slayer.
As you approach the spirit, there will be the loud words, "Unhand my master! Where is he? Where have you taken me?"
Javai is over here, Slayer.
Ah.
He is safe and sound.
Yes, Slayer, fear not. Did you follow me in?
Of course, I would never leave your side willingly. And as he runs towards, he's like breathlessly attempting to speak like words of comfort, and then, while not to Ro, to Blink's eyes, he'll vanish in the out of the light. But to Ro's eyes, he will also vanish from sight.
Wait, what?
The spirit.
What is happening?
The spirit will be like urging almost like caution, like attempting to calm you down, as if to indicate no harm is coming to the Harlot Slayer.
The spirit is attempting to calm me and seems to be indicating the Slayer should be okay, but he has disappeared from my vision as well.
Oh boy. Well,
Indeed.
taking things at face value, we followed the spirit, and despite ending up in different parts, we found our way to the spirit, so I feel like it's not trying to harm us. Let's continue to listen to what this one has to say.
I agree. Spirit, please continue to guide us through this maze of a cave.
The spirit will almost give you like a sense of as if like asking like, are you sure? Are you certain? As if the demonstration of what has occurred is potentially enough for others to have said, no, get me out of here.
Spirit, we are used to this kind of circumstance. We just want to be done with it.
No sooner do you finish your sentence than there's a sudden flurry of movement that comes from directly to the north, and the Harlot Slayer emerges from the cavern and says, Oh, thank heavens. I thought I had lost you for good that time, Master.
It seems to have been made clear that, at least through the spirits, no harm will come of you. Let's show them we mean no harm while we find our way through this delicate matter.
Well, at this, the spirit will give Ro the sense of acceptance, like it accepts this statement, and the animated spirit will gesture due south to the cave entrance there, but in doing so, it's not moving, and it almost indicates to you that, like, it's a wistful gesture, like it seems to wish to go that direction, yet can't for some reason. And then indicates the lanterns surrounding the one that is shining.
Does the lantern prevent you from entering?
You'll get that not quite sense yet again, but that like struggling to communicate expressly what it means. It's essentially, it says like that's good enough. It's like the feeling that you get. Like, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. Do you wish for me to enter this cave, or part of the cave?
There's the definitive affirmation there that the southern cavern is of importance and must be entered.
Fine, I shall do so, Spirit. And so Ro will walk in.
As we begin to enter this cave, Chavai is going to say, I'm going to keep my hands on your shoulders, I suppose. And Slayer, you'll do the same to me. And we'll see if we make it through in one party.
One can only hope.
Right, well, you guys are about to do that. I think at this point, with half the party snoozing, it's probably a good time to call it a ascent.
Yep. Yep.
But I know that this is the last one that Darix can actually be here for, so.
Well, I mean, I'll be here the week after, but yeah.
Right, yeah. So there's going to be a break here. Sorry, I'm watching Silas bumble around in the dark.
I'm about to not look at this. I want to see what's in here.
Ro
Yeah.
didn't expect to
You?
be teleported
No?
around and confused, so
Well,
I didn't see anything.
Silas went a little bit too far in that cave area. All right, so what I can tell you is that Ro, Blink, and the Harlot Slayer, as you guys all sort of like move your way through the cave, you're gonna come back out of the same cave, staring at the spirit in the same place, just a different formation. And
What?
the spirit will be sort of like unknowingly like the restating the wistfulness of, as if to say that it cannot be entered.
Oh, I see now.
To take the light out. Yeah.
Well, I don't even know. if the
We have
light-
to actually put trust into the spirit. I don't know. Maybe not.
I'm guessing something is forcing us to, turning us around, right? So that we can't actually enter. Yeah.
I mean, to your eyes, especially in the dark, it's like the path just continues, and then suddenly you're on exactly the same way. Yeah.
So it's some weird Fae bullshit or something.
Hey man, Fae aren't bullshit. Just talk to my chickens.
Nope, they're bullshit.
Fuck you. You're
So
bullshit.
so
strongest
Darix,
Starfire.
given that you're gonna be AFK for a session, I was thinking that whatever the party does, we weren't sure if we were going to even do that or if we were gonna reactivate one of the other ones or whatever. We'll have to figure it out. But assuming we do come back here, do you just want me to pilot your character again, like I did that other session?
Yeah, if you guys do decide to do this, you know what's important to Darix right now. You know what he would do.
Yeah.
He wants to get there. I would like to roleplay the communal thing.
Oh yeah. We're not gonna do that without you. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, other than that, I mean, it's just like getting there and then being like,
Yeah.
hey, You're not bullshitting me, right? I'm gonna be able to go outside and commune and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah.
Yeah, I assume next session it'll probably end after when we get to the Sazarin mansion, probably.
Yeah.
If you guys are lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Well.
Now we'll just have Balethal make a character for 18.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, that should be Jeej on this front, but there's some interesting things. You guys actually made it to a new map and explored a good chunk of that map, so that's very impressive.
That
Yeah.
is impressive considering our track record.
I know. Yeah.
We didn't get stuck arguing for 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's because Narath is sleeping.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
That's right. I mean, still,
Dude.
Narath decided to bring the fucking Blood Knight with you guys, which is a bold plan, in my opinion.
What?
Dude, I knew he was sleeping when he didn't have 10 million things and 2 intimidation checks to have for Aramea.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad we all agree. Just like,
That's why Ro was just gonna kill the Blood Knight, because he was like, we're not gonna be able to bring this guy, like, convince this guy to just not fucking kill us.
Well, I don't want to like spoil a revelation or anything, but what do you if like you guys walked through a cavern and like at the same time and then went 3 different fucking cavern entrances? What do you think happens to the Blood Knight when you guys start moving him through? You know what I mean? Like, there's no guarantee you all stick around in the same place.
Well,
Blood Knight was sleeping somewhere.
what's funny is that I had communicated this to Lucy through just like the stupid fucking Fuse Cam text. I was just like, I can't wait to tell the Da Sazarin handler to kill him. The Blood Knight. He'd be like, yeah, man, all these guys are fine, but can you just find a reason to take this Blood Knight somewhere else and kill him, please? Because fucking Blink doesn't want him alive.
No.
Because like Ro's whole thing about like, oh, I wish I could learn from you was like,
yeah,
you have things that would be really helpful for me, but you're never going to tell me. You're just going to try to kill me.
Yeah, the Blood Knight saw Blink shapeshift too, so it's just more trouble than it's worth to keep him alive.
True, that is right. That did happen. So there's a lot that this guy knows that he shouldn't. So.
And he's not the type that you can reason with, I assume.
Yeah, like he
Definitely
didn't.
doesn't seem that way. Yeah.
He barely spoke, so it's not known, right? But
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think multiple people tried to speak to him, so. And mostly he didn't respond until.
he only responded mentally to Silas. from the message.
Silas.
Yeah.
And it wasn't much of a response.
Yeah, he just said,
Yeah.
I have failed in my task. Death is my fate. You know, so that's it.
Yeah.
Apparently all Draconin except Derek's are like whiny little bitches that want to die anytime they fail something. Life is hard. I've dishonored myself. God, dude, all you guys want to kill yourselves. Get over yourself.
He does. He was expecting you guys to do that for him. So
Well,
he
yeah,
wouldn't be.
okay.
I don't think he would be like
Blink
Narath.
tried.
Yeah. I don't think he would be like Narath and be like, I gotta end it myself. Like, you know,
I got
No, he's gonna force you to kill him,
Yeah.
and if you don't, then he's gonna kill you.
yeah, and then he
And-
won't fail, so it'll be good.
Yeah,
That kind of makes sense.
Suicide by cop.
Yeah,
basically.
death by paladin.
Suicide by paladin, yeah.
Yeah, that's what about it. Who are like cops?
Yeah.
I bet
Death
you,
by other Blood Knight.
I bet you he'll start talking after I connect him with Savras.
Oh shit.
Is that like
Ours
the, is
is
that
like
like the lie detector of this world? Like I'm gonna connect you up to my lie detector.
My
Yeah,
God,
really.
he's gonna tell me if you're lying.
Nothing like a little brain expansion to get the tongue wagging.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Your brain will explode. You just won't be able to handle this at all.
If you won't tell me your truth, I'll show you all the truth.
You literally can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
It will actually fry your brain.
Or put you into a dragon egg in the case of James.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was about to say, it already worked on the dragon. He turned into a dude.
Yeah, I
GG's.
can't believe that